Hi everyone, and welcome to the third outing of Hot Chat Live. And at the moment, I'm not hearing an echo. We're having echo issues, which is why we're a little bit late coming on. So I apologise about that. So hi to everyone in the chat. I will get to you all shortly. So all your hellos and everything else, please keep them coming and everything, and we'll get to you all very, very shortly. Before that, let's just go around the panel members we've got. We've got a couple more to come yet because we are having issues with echoes and everything else. So, yeah, let's just go with everyone. Hi, Lee. Yeah, so let's have a look at what we've got. We've got a couple of we've got two or three newbies with us today. So we'll say hello to them first. First of all, we'll go to John, all the way from Canada. Hi, John.
The ice cold Canada, the Great White North. How's it going? Glad to be here.
Oh, yeah, thanks for coming on, mate. Really, really appreciate you coming on. This is actually the first time you and me have actually spoke. I've like followed you for donkeys on YouTube. All these people sitting here probably don't know who you are, but you're a little bit of a legend in the old YouTube world, aren't you? In statues, but you've
No,
been streaming for a long time, haven't you? I mean, I've been watching you for a good 2 years. I would have thought.
yeah, just about that time. Talking the hobby, discussing the statues, figures. But yeah, I think this is the first time we've been in front of a camera together, so it's a
Yeah,
pleasure.
definitely.
Yeah,
And you're the everyday collector. Do you actually collect every day?
every day.
Every day.
If I'm not collecting every day, I'm thinking about collecting every day.
Ah, brilliant. And we've got another little YouTube legend, but this is Tarantulas. We've got Scott from Scott's Inverts, he's like your equivalent in Tarantula. And I believe Regan had a bit of a moment today when she saw he was going to be on.
Little bit of a fangirl moment.
There you go, dude. Tell me about it.
I didn't realise. Is it Leah, your name?
Lee.
Lee. I follow you on
The
TikTok,
microphone's
and
off,
I
Lee.
didn't realise it was
The
you.
microphone's off, Lee.
There we
That's
go.
it. Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Yeah, I said I follow you on TikTok. I didn't realise you were going to be on here, so it's nice to meet you.
Oh, what's your TikTok name?
Yeah, so for everyone who doesn't know, Lee's also a tarantula keeper, so we've got another tarantula keeper with us for this stream as well. I think we're waiting. Are we waiting for one more?
I think Natalie is.
Sorry?
Natalie is not here.
Ah, Nat, yeah, of course. Yeah, Nat,
yeah.
she's probably working, sorting the stuff out. Obviously, we've not got, unfortunately, both Kai and Jacob. Jacob's still not well. In fact, he's not well at all. So, sending the very best to Jacob. I hope he gets well soon. And obviously, Kai as well. I'm going to hear Kai's accent. I'm going to have a stream without listening to Kai's German accent, man. So, and obviously we've got some of the other regulars here as well. So we've got Dennis, who, whereabouts did you say you are, Dennis? Because you've leapt literally from country to country for each stream, dude.
I am in Texas.
You're back in Texas?
Yes.
Right. Looking at dude, you're doing some air miles. And we got a little Lingy Bling there. I'm going to try and not rant, Ling. I'm going to try and not rant.
It was friggin' hilarious.
Well, I'm going to try because there's a good possibility my parents are watching, so I do try to. And supporting my Christmas present that she made is my Comic Con friend Liz. How are you, Liz?
Hiya. Comic Con soon.
Well, we're going to be talking about Comic Cons. We're going to be talking about people with other skills as well. We're going to also go over some things we didn't go over properly in the last year. Well, we didn't have time. We ran out of time, so we'll get to all that shortly. Hi, Regan. How are you, sweetheart? I'm not. I've been watching on your channel. You've not had a vid for you in a while. I've been popping over to see if you've got a vid on.
Well, I haven't put any videos up because I've been a bit busy. Hang on, let me show you. Where is he? With this.
Oh, of course, yes. I saw your picture of your pooch. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, I've had my hands full and not really been able to edit, but I have edited. I've edited the spider that I won from Scott's giveaway. I've edited it today because ads was going on at me to, have you got it up yet? Have you got it up yet? And I was like, I'm so sorry, I haven't done it yet. So that should hopefully be up either after this tonight or tomorrow. So I need more hands. There's not enough to go around.
And but we've got Natalie coming, but she's having a few problems with her microphone, so hopefully she'll be on later on. Natalie, if you're watching, just come on, love. Without them, mate, don't worry, we'll work around it somehow. And Julian, last by no means least, Julian, we've got we've got a little video for you as well of yours to talk about later on. Are you all right then, are you, mate?
Brilliant. Yes. Yeah. All good.
Again, this goes into something that I'm going to, because I've tried to pick topics that's going to sort of pull us all into the same place, and I've got a few. Now, you see, for these three, I don't write stuff down. I never. For these, I do. I've got them there. I'm looking at them now, and I'm about to balls it up straight away because I wanted to start off with a comment that was made in one of my videos, which I'm going to read to you. Because I think it sort of pulls us all together, and I'd be interested in everybody's opinions on this. So I did a video recently where I was talking about that. Obviously, my channel started off with the statues, but I moved into tarantulas. I moved back into tarantulas, and I was explaining why I've done it and the blah blah blah. Anyway, the person who made this comment, let me just start off by saying, is someone who's followed my channel for a good 18 months or so. He's always left considered an intelligent comment. This isn't someone ranting. And he also is a big time statue collector. So I just wanted to say that because he's not just someone trying to shit stir or cause trouble. But I thought it was a very interesting comment. And yeah, I'd like to hear everyone's opinion. Okay, so this is regarding to me bringing tarantulas onto my YouTube channel. So he said, well said, Jace. In my opinion, you've hit a topic which has been mincing my mind for months now with regards to statues. As a hobby, it's absolutely shit. Sorry, but I think it's really crap. I mean, you spend money on pre-orders, wait 2+ years, it arrives, hopefully. You unbox it, you get an adrenaline rush for like 20 minutes, and then rinse and repeat. But here's the thing, what part of that process defines this in any way as a hobby? Is it the spending money on pre-orders, the 20 minutes unboxing, the setup and display, or the 2 years of waiting around with your thumb up your arse? I completely understand why you get back into spiders. It's a real hobby, which engages you minute to minute. It asks something of you beyond spending money without waiting. If I'm honest, I'm shocked you haven't ditched the statue part of the equation altogether and gone full bore spiders. Keep up good work and carry on doing what you do. So I've got to start off by saying that I am going to get to the comments shortly, chat. Sorry, I did forget. I will get to you all shortly, I promise. But I've often thought myself when I was doing the statue, don't get me wrong, I love doing the statue thing, I love it, and I'll continue to do it. But I've often felt it's not really a hobby. Not really. So, I mean, what does everyone think? I mean, because I know these people that do the tarantulas that are interested in the statues. I know that Scott definitely is. I know that Lee is. I know that Regan is. Lydia is as well. So I thought it was a good thing to kick off with, to get both the statue collectors' opinions and the people that do the transfers. What you all think.
Can you still hear me all right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Jason, do the statues make you happy?
Yeah, but that's not the thing. Is it a hobby? Would you class it as a hobby? The thing for me is to do the tarantulas takes skill, knowledge, experience. You could literally catch me up and overtake me if you've got a big enough bank balance and a big enough shelf space.
Do you enjoy using your special brushes and wiping your statues?
I always enjoy wiping.
And it's a hobby because you enjoy it. You get enjoyment out of it.
No, this is it. This is the debate. Is it? Would you class it?
Is a perception. Therefore, if you consider it a hobby yourself, then it is a hobby. The fact that somebody else says it's not a hobby is their perception.
Yeah. The excitement of receiving them, the excitement of ordering them, the excitement of coming into a community together, that is a hobby.
I think it's also that the hobby is generally an activity, and whilst yes, there is a lot of, basically once it arrives, it sits on the shelf and that's kind of it. There's lots about it that is, reading up about, various statues, keeping an eye on what's going on, looking at what you've got, what you might want to get, display, arrangements, lighting, all of these things that I think are part of it, and they're quite active. Whilst the actual piece is passive, and unlike the tarantulas, you have to engage with it on a day-to-day basis. I think there's still enough active elements of it to make it a hobby. It's not just, I suppose, it's not just storage. It's not just buying to hoard. It's something that brings you enjoyment, and you keep an eye on it for at regular periods.
I think
Hi, Dobby. By the way.
I think
I
if
will
you
get to the chat.
if you detach the process can be tedious, where you can experience delays and long wait times and price hikes and so forth. That could be the downside of collecting. But yeah, I definitely consider it a hobby. It's I think the misconception of you need to be consistently buying to be part of the community or to make it a hobby. Just going into your collectible room and sitting back and enjoying the pieces you've purchased, or hopping on a YouTube channel and discussing new releases and stuff like that. For me, it makes it a hobby.
Yeah, I think I would say it's the same. I mean, this the buying is one activity of the hobby, right? But there's a lot more activities you're doing in your spare time, which you do for fun, for pleasure. That is the definition of a hobby, right? So there's so much things that come around to just purchasing and then getting the piece in and then putting it on your shelf. There's a lot more activities around it that if you take it all into account, it is a hobby. At least in my perception, it is a hobby.
I think display and sort of organizing a room, and picking the right furniture and picking the right lighting and arrangement. All of those things are part of it.
That's
continuously evolving.
But that's encouraging into a subject I'm going to because I thought this would segue nicely into something I wanted to discuss, which you yourself, Julian, and Lydia, are prime examples on tonight's stream we're going to go into. Before we carry on, let me just quickly go through the comments, everyone. So we've got Chris. Hiya, Chris. We've got Mr. Grindler here as well, another Tarantula YouTuber there. Lightning Trip, I do, mate. We've got Dobby's Tarantulas here as well, I do. We've got Adam. Hi, mate. We've got Moon Miami. I do, mate. Are you all right? We've got Maximus. How are you, Max? Craig. Jason, where's my spanner? I don't know about this. Spanner's two ends. Who else have we got here? We've got Poppy. Hiya. We've got Dave. How do, Dave? How do, Nick? You all right, mate? I'm trying to catch up with all these comments. Sorry, guys. We've got Crawleys here. How do? Drinking pedigree at the... Who's that? Who knows that I used to drink pedigree at the Ferris? Who the hell is that? How do you know that? You're someone from my childhood, aren't you? Okay. Hi, Ads. How do you, mate? And Sharon, I assume you're there as well. There will be a challenge later on. Oh, I've not told you all, have I? Yes, there'll be a challenge later on. And guess what? You're all doing it. Every one of you.
Jeez.
In fact, it'll be you lot against... It'll be you lot against me. It's you lot versus me. That's all I'm going to tell you. Ling's been trying desperately to get some information from me. And anyway, she hasn't done so. Oh, and Nat's here as well. Hi, Nat. Yeah, it's definitely yours that's causing the... Yeah. It must be that mic. I think you'll need to put your earphones in. Log in with your earphones in.
the tabs now. 1 minute, let me go and get them.
Maybe just stay on mute. And then unmute whenever.
Right, okay. We're not too echoey, are we? Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I wanted to start off with that one about the hobby thing because it leads nicely into. I wanted to talk about how our hobbies and passions inspire sort of artistic, it brings out our artistic sides because we got Julian doing his artwork, of which we've got a video to show later on, and because Julian's done some fantastic artwork. We got Nat doing her enclosures. Again, that's artistic flair. We got Liz with a look at that hat. That's my hat she's got on there that she's made for me for Christmas. Um, so and I mean, even doing YouTube channels. I mean, doing YouTube channels, I think is artistic flair. Not everyone can do it. It takes time. I mean, what do you all think? Do you think that the passion that you've got for doing the things that you do, because of the time that you commit to it, it inspires you it leads to other things?
Right, 1 second.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
you were talking before about statues and displays and things like that.
Did you ask me a question? Sorry.
I think for me, since I've had my spiders, I do consider it 100% a hobby because I'm never happier than when I'm sitting here, doing enclosures, feeding them. I don't go through my spiders and just quickly feed them. I spend time with each spider, make sure that it eats. I enjoy watching it eat, and then my day is filled with different things that are surround the spiders because I enjoy it, not because I have to do it. So I definitely think that it impacts the activities you do as well. If you enjoy it, you want to do more things surrounding that hobby.
I mean, for example, it's like I wouldn't be doing YouTube if I hadn't done the tarantulas or the statues. I wouldn't have done it. So, and people that do YouTube channels know it takes an immense amount of work, and it brings out creativity. That was the word I was looking for. My brain keeps going blank. It's the nerves, darling. Yeah, it brings out sort of the creativity side. I mean, that's what I was thinking. It seems that a lot of people that do like collecting, whether it's statues or the trans or whatever, you do seem to have like a creative flair, don't you think? I do.
Yeah, and like decorating the enclosures, stuff like that. I don't know if my other YouTube channel, I for years and years and years and years, I've collected designer handbags. It's similar to your statues because people don't understand why I do it or why I've done it, as long as I have. But I do it because I enjoy it. It's given me a community of people that enjoy the same things that I enjoy. And through there, I've grown a YouTube channel with over 5,000 subscribers of people that wanted to watch my videos. And I do things like makeup tutorials on there as well. And I got into all of that and met another community of people. And then I got into the spiders and made a separate channel. And I would never have been able to do all of that unless I had a hobby that I was passionate about, that I wanted to share with other people and meet other people that had the same interests as me. And I definitely feel I'm not a creative person as such, but when I'm passionate about something and I'm around other people who are also passionate about their hobbies, it brings that out of me and I want to do more. So I think that it's a win-win, really. Even if people don't agree with it, I don't care. That's what I like to do. It makes me happy. I'm not hurting anyone. So that's how I see it, and that's how I see you guys with your statues. If that is what makes you happy and you're not hurting anyone, it's your money, you do what you want to do with your money and you get some amazing statues out of it. So who cares if people don't agree with it?
Where else do you park your money? In the bank with those interest rates? Come on.
Yeah.
My money don't sit in my bank account long.
Yeah, let's not talk about bank accounts now.
Got to spend it somewhere.
I think that's exactly. I think actually your point about meeting people is really, really key, because I can honestly say a lot of the things I've done in the last few months, I would not have done if I hadn't started a kind of an Instagram page with statues and with paintings and with books. and the people that you meet that are in the same hobby, and then you start investing time and looking at YouTube channels and meeting other people that are interested in it. A lot of things just start to happen that would not have otherwise happened if you just kept it to yourself. So I think it's absolutely brilliant for that. Just a couple of examples I'm thinking about is things like the statue that we're now working on that we discussed last live stream. That would have never happened.
Do you want me to just show your video, dude, of what you're doing at the moment, and you can actually talk people through? You should be able to talk over this, Julian.
Oh yeah, that's fine. Yeah, so this is another thing that we've started doing is I've partnered with the Facebook collectors group, and we're now doing a limited edition run of prints. These are 3 drawings that I've done over a couple of recent months, and we're doing a limited edition exclusive set for collectors, statue collectors in the Facebook group. And they're only limited to 30 sets, and they come in 2 different versions. One's a regular, sort of slightly more standard paper print, and then a premium giclée print on very, very high quality paper. So this is another thing that, again, would not have happened if I suppose I didn't get involved with the people within the hobby, and I suppose starting to explore other avenues of creativity apart from taking photographs and kind of discussing statues. I can honestly say I hadn't drawn for quite a while because I always.
I was going to say, it's worth noting and tell people that you've drawn those. I think a lot of people might not be aware that that's your artwork.
Yeah, they're in a
And we're yet to discuss the haunts of the collector discount if you're on the panel.
Yes, yeah, they're all here, so they're just in a my sketchbook here. So there's lots of other ones, but these are all stuff that just came from a poll of what did you
They
like?
are Scott. You said you wanted a Balrog. Scott wants a Balrog.
You want a Balrog? There's a Balrog.
Put him on big screen, Jason, because I can't really see it too well.
Oh, I knew you were going to. I don't know how you do it.
That's amazing.
You can do it.
It looks awesome.
Right. So whereabouts is? Hang on, Julian. I've got you. There we go.
Did you draw that yourself?
That's incredible.
Yes. Yeah.
That's incredible.
There's a Morgoth if you want the Morgoth. What else have we got? I think Sauron is in this one. There's your Sauron.
Wow.
I love how you flick through them. Like, yeah, this is just a picture I like, and
this is a.
I love that.
They are incredible, dude.
That's incredible.
I love that one.
The Sistine Chapel sort of thing with these ones. So you've got Sauron and Morgoth, and yeah, there's loads more, and I'm working on a couple of others. Certainly starting to work on a She-Wolf for Jason. So we'll have a look about that.
You don't have to tell people that because you're doing that one just for me. All the transfer people are going to be really pissed off.
I was going to say I want a copy as well.
I'll better get going on that then.
Start selling some prints, yeah.
Yeah, you need to do a print of the 2 fingers touching.
I have. That's already.
Oh, I need that.
Oh,
that's amazing.
I'll see if I can show.
I need the finger like that on my front door saying, if you don't like tarantulas, follow the finger.
Yeah, that's.
I wanted to just run another quick video because I know there's quite a few of the tarantula. It's really funny because quite a few of the tarantula people are interested and would like to get the statues, but there's not much of the statues wanting to keep the tarantulas, is there? You guys are quiet. But I've got a video because it might be interesting for some of the guys that to see this because obviously we talk about the statues we've got and the ridiculous price tags. However, it's not always the case. So this one is the latest out from Weta Workshop. This has just been released, and you might, for those of you who like to get a Lord of the Rings, because I think this is absolutely fantastic, incidentally. This is 135 quid from Weta. They're doing a mini range. I mean, I'm getting this for 100. I mean, I've got quarter scale, but I'm still going to get this one. But
How
yeah,
big
this is
is it?
130. You'll see in a second. It will show you. Um, this is £135 from Weta. So, but I mean, despite the fact this is a smaller scale, I mean the detail on it is absolutely superb, and because it's Weta, it's going to be good quality. Um, what about you, Julian? Are you gonna?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a fantastic little piece. I only wish it was 1:6 scale or something like that, but definitely getting that one. I think it's one of their best miniatures, and it's probably one of their best Saurons. So yeah, really looking forward to seeing that released.
It's open edition as well, isn't it?
Open edition, yeah.
Well, it looks like they pulled her correctly this time, so that's always a good thing.
But
No,
it's also
that-
interesting that you've gone for the sort of the scene. So you've got the double
Yeah.
chainmail, you've got
Yep.
the full drums.
Did you see at the end? It was
Yeah.
That
The
would
dagger.
look epic in a spider
I like
tank
the
with a load
dagger.
of webbing all over it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think that for 135 notes is if for somebody that wants to sort of get into statues, I think it's a good starting point because I mean, it used to be like it was Funko Pops, really, wasn't it? Talking of Funko Pop, that Regan that I sent you.
I love it. I'm putting that on my Christmas list. It can go with my rocket. I've got I paid about £60 for my Frankenfurter from Rocky Horror Pop because it was brand new in the box, and that is my pride and joy. That thing, and I know it's only a Pop Funko, but it's really hard to get hold of. So I do love them.
Some of those Funkos are ridiculously difficult to find.
Mhm.
They're really sort of limited, and there's some amazing collections out there of them. But yeah, on the Weta, you could get all sorts of stuff. Here's their little miniature Smaug if you're into that.
Hang on, I got to put you on big screen. I got to learn how to do this anyway, haven't I? So let me just.
How hard are they to get hold of? Do they sell out quick?
No.
Say that again.
These are
No,
open
these
editions.
are all open editions. These are open editions.
Oh, okay.
That's cool.
And it's if you need to get the massive one, this is really nice size and it's a beautiful sculpt. So I really like the miniature line. It's they go very well on shelves and all of that.
Yeah, much better size for my little house.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're open editions. They're reasonably priced, although those miniatures have also gone up quite significantly over time because they started off being $50 to $75, and now they're going all the way up to 200-ish, a little less than 200. But they do go on sale. Weta does have regular sales, so you get 20%, 25%, sometimes 30% off. So depending on the shipping from Weta, it might be a good deal buying it direct or through a retailer that also has some sales time over time. But yeah, they're a good size for somebody that would like to have some Lord of the Rings pieces. It doesn't have the space for even the 6 scale, and let alone the higher, the bigger skills. These are fun things to add. And that Sauron, I agree with Julian. It's probably the best one they've made so far from the miniature line.
Yeah.
Although I do
Are
like.
you, John? Are you Lord of the Rings collector, John? I know we've chatted before about it. Did you actually get? Because I think the last time me and you were talking about it, you were trying to get the Prime One Sauron, weren't you? So does this interest you getting a small thing?
Yeah, I've had to pivot and kind of focus on a main character. I'm more of a I've moved into the Batman way of things of collecting, but I've always enjoyed the Lord of the Rings pieces, and I still do plan on jumping on board one day. Especially some of the stuff Prime One's done, like the Balrog and Gandalf, stunning work. Or Infinity Studio, the Gimli, the half scale Gimli is stunning. But I like to see what Weta's doing here in giving collectors a more affordable option. Right, I think that's what's really setting companies apart nowadays is price point, and trying to get, let's say, figure collectors or even maintain statue collectors, because the price points are getting to the point where you see a lot of people thinking about leaving the hobby. So it's nice to see these companies adapting to that and giving sort of that tiered option where collectors can remain in the hobby and collect the characters they love at an affordable price.
I mean, that's the
You
thing.
can't go wrong.
I mean, the thing I've noticed going from, well, not going from one to the other, but going back to another one whilst doing the other one is I've noticed that the transfer community is far more sort of active and active with one another really than I felt that there's been a definite slump in the statue side of things, and it's because of everything that we know that's happened since COVID
Of
because of
course.
ridiculous shipping prices. I mean, I see now that UP fuck off has now increased their 6%. I think is it?
6.3%. Yeah.
Yeah, they're increasing. I mean, they were already the most expensive ones, certainly here in the UK, and they apparently are incapable of delivering something that's 30 minutes down the road. So yes, I mean it's only going to get worse. And you're now paying shipping for what you buy a statue for.
Yeah,
precisely.
Yeah,
You just have to become a lot more selective.
Yeah.
Nowadays, and it's as opposed to picking up 4 or 5 pieces a year, you pick up 1 or 2, and you save, right? That's just
Hi,
the way it
Mitchell.
is.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, and while we're on it, actually, we'll just go from one extreme to the other, shall we? So we've gone for a nice cheap £135. So this is the other end of the statue scale. But I've got to put this in, guys, because I'm having a real problem not going for this. So yeah, this is 1/1 scale, and I believe the cheapest I found it so far, and this is not shipped, is £3,130.
Goodness.
This is
And
Infinity
that's not,
Studio.
yeah, Infinity
Yeah.
1/1 Sylvanas bust. But she's literally my second favorite character from Warcraft. I absolutely love her.
That's wild.
So I'm having a real issue with this one. I had Randy from Collector's Art literally message the day it went up. I was like, yes, dude, I know. Just leave it with me. Just let me think. It's a lot of money. So I mean, I've calculated to get this to the UK. It's going to be sort of £5,000, maybe a little bit more. But damn, it's good. If you like Warcraft, of course. But I adore War. You're a bit of a Warcraft fan, aren't you, Lee? Lee? Lee, you're a Warcraft fan, aren't you? You're a Warcraft fan, aren't you?
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit, yeah.
What do you think to this? Did you have a Sylvans?
That looks awesome.
I mean, I think
that's really decent.
I mean, they do a, which I've been looking at. It's on Blizzard. You can buy the third scale one, which is, I mean, that's £500, which I know is still a lot, but that's £500 here in the UK. That's delivered everything else, and it's about 1/11 of the price of this.
Okay.
So yeah, but I mean, I must admit, this was the piece for me from WonderCon. Anyway, so there you are. There you got a size example there, guys, of how big this is.
I mean, it's a lot of money, right? I mean, let's not kid ourselves. But compared to some other busts that Infinity has put out, it's actually not that bad, considering some one other alternatives that are equally sized, right? Or maybe a little bit bigger, but they're double the price than that. So, yes.
428 pieces as well. So 428 edition size. So that's going to be available for a long time because let's be honest, sold out doesn't really exist anymore.
That's a lot. That's not going to sell out.
No.
Jason?
Yes.
Without being very naive to the whole statue hobby, so not trying to upset, what's the difference between the statues you guys are keeping and like getting yourself a 3D map and printing one out and painting it yourself?
Well, we were discussing that on that. Again, this falls into that artistic thing. Nothing at all, mate. Really, nothing at all apart from it's unlicensed. All you're doing is buying licensed, officially licensed, editioned. I mean, the comparison is right. Here's a prime comparison. I've got a Rohirrim sword hanging on my wall, right? Actually, no,
Yep.
Orcrist. I've got Orcrist behind me here, which was made by Ravenforge. Orcrist is the sword that they use in The Hobbit that Legolas chucks to what's his face, the dwarf. No, is that right? That is Orcrist, isn't it?
Thorin's sword.
So yeah, the bit it's the one that Legolas gave him, isn't it?
No.
Is it the one that he Legolas? No, anyway, yeah, Thorin's sword. No. So I got Orcrist unlicensed from Ravenforge, which is a blacksmith in Wales. 60 quid. If you want to buy the licensed one from UC, it's about 280 quid.
Yep.
That's the difference.
It's a direction I think that is going to become more prevalent in the hobby. Most definitely. You see a lot of people doing it, picking up these printers and commissioning work. So I think it is going to be more. It's going to be prevalent, especially. And what's forcing people to go that route is the pricing.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen the same thing with the Tarantula hobby, because obviously they do themed enclosures, and 5-6 years ago you'd buy an item to go in there. Now people are 3D printing their own and painting it.
Yeah, smart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think part of the I've got I think the 3D printing is really good if it's original. So if you're actually supporting a digital sculptor who has done something new, and they've they're put out an STL file that you can print yourself, I think that's really good. I think where it becomes murky is where you've got these kind of knockoff photogrammetry scans of other people's work. So you get a scan of a Weta statue, for £15, and it's never great, and it's kind of intellectual property theft basically. So I think there is, unless it's an original work, I think people need to be careful with it. And also, I suppose the other difference is that yes, while some of these things are expensive, you are supporting a group of artists and makers and sculptors and painters that are this is what they do for a living. So yes, you can paint it yourself, but the same way with an enclosure. I've been looking at the video Jason put out on the enclosure that Natalie made, and you can probably knock something together which is serviceable, but it's not going to be as good, and it's not going to be as well crafted. So I think part of it is just purely supporting people doing what they do really well, and if that costs a bit more, I think sometimes that's fine. But yes, at the same time, prices are going completely through the roof. And I think very soon people will just stop buying these things altogether.
Do you know what? I can literally remember when I first started getting into statues, and this is absolutely true story. I was talking to a lad who works at the plant next door to us, and he was like the nearest person I had in my day-to-day life. It was as big a geek as I am. And we were talking about statues, and I showed him. Do you remember the Prime One Predator? I think it was quarter scale, and it was. Was it about? I think it was about a grand. About a grand, I think it was. And I said to him, I said, I will never pay £1,000 for a statue. Never. I've got a £3,500 one behind me now. So how much of a hypocrite am I? That's how much it bloody changed. Because you've got no choice. If you want one now, then that's the thing. I mean, but I've always said they are completely irrelevant, completely unimportant. It's totally free will, isn't it? And but yeah, that just lets my mind then when you said that, just the comparison in how much it's changed, and it's massively going to affect it. And I totally agree with what John says, and I think we skipped on this briefly on the last thing, which is again was why I was talking about the artistic side of things, was the fact that people are going to go and do their own things. Dobby, no, Weta also do Dark Crystal. They do who else they do? They do Dark Crystal.
Some
they
DC,
do?
The Witcher, Marvel.
Witcher.
Yeah.
They've
DC.
done some
What?
DC as well.
Mm-hmm.
Some DC.
Yeah, they did what's her face as well. Tomb Raider, didn't they?
Tomb Raider,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yep.
And now they've
Did
announced
they do Gears of
Warhammer.
War?
And Warhammer.
Oh right, yeah.
Lord of the Rings is where they really excel, though.
Yeah.
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 That's where they
Well,
started.
this is actually something that Lee was asking me about on the live stream on Friday, which is something that I'm currently working on anyway with Nat. I've got about 3 or 4 ideas that are in sort of planning stages. I don't want to say because I don't want to ruin the surprise in the future. But yeah, I mean there is somebody who does them. Who's done quite a few. Is it Steve? His name?
Steve Thornton, Tarantula-tastic enclosures.
Yeah, transfer test. I mean, he's done quite a few themed enclosures, hasn't he?
I think personally, I think themed enclosures are amazing as long as you're still creating the decent environment for the spider. Because I've seen many themed enclosures where they put a hide in, and then the hide is literally just like a box. There's no, the bottom is all blocked off. Where really you want no bottom, so the spider can still go down. So you still got to put thought in for that spider as well.
This is the thing that I'm doing with. I say I don't want to say too much, but the one I'm doing with Nat is the fact that the design starts about 50% of the way up the tank because I need the bottom of the tank for the spider to live in.
Happy days.
And I'm sort of trying to design it with Nat that we can incorporate the theme into a practical thing that the spider can also use. So it's that I've sort of said to get around. One bit I will test is to get around that. I said let's have a big black band at the bottom and a big black band at the top, so it looks. Remember, you used to watch things in widescreen. You used to get the black bands on the TV. Do you remember that on when you watched the film on widescreen? So I said to it, when you look in the tank, it looks like that. So we get that the focal point is sort of technically in the middle of the tank, but we've got this living area for the spider, which isn't going to be affected, sort of thing. So I thought it was a good idea.
Interesting.
How
But I'm not
did you find your Socotra enclosure, Jason? Because it looked really good and really interesting, the idea of recreating their sort of environment.
I mean, I'm really pleased with how it's come out. Really pleased. And I sound like I'm sort of showing off. And it was just how I pictured it in my head. It's really come out how I pictured it in my head, which I didn't think I'd do. You know, when you picture things in your head, they never come out quite right, do they? You can never quite do that, but it did because I wanted that sort of bend in the river with the cliff face, and the spiders are just like, I don't want to say they're happy because that sounds stupid, doesn't it? But they're settled in. They're because you just don't see them. They sort of stay. You might see the odd one or two out and about. And I was chatting to Nat, who keeps loads of baboons, and she says that's a good sign that they're settled. The fact that they found their homes and they're staying in them, sort of thing. And the cockroaches I keep putting in keep disappearing, so they're obviously coming out and hunting and taking them out. So, but yeah, I'm really. It's in my bedroom. So in my bedroom, I've got. This is why I am forever single. I have got a life-size Nazgul at the end of my bed. I've now got 70 tarantulas in there because I've got 58 in the Valforita. I've got 2 Theraphosa blondies in there now. Me Ranong, she's in there. I've got a load of arboreals in there.
Is that Nazgul leaning over your bed? Like,
yeah, it is. I mean, it's about. Lydia's seen it. It's about. Oh, God, sounds a bit. It's about 5 feet, isn't it, from the end of my bed, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it is in the pose holding the sword like that, yeah.
Has it ever shit?
I thought I was bad.
When you woke up in the night?
No.
You've never looked at it and gone, shit, it's the X.
No, it's never bothered me. It's really weird. Like the dark and being alone in an old cottage has never bothered me. I genuinely don't scare easy at all. Genuinely, I don't. Certainly not the dark. I love the dark. I love the dark.
I thought
People
I was
bond
bad
with the
with my Freddy Krueger and Frankenstein portraits all over my walls in my bedroom, but I've got no spiders in there. Mind you, not that anyone goes in my bedroom. It's just me.
Nor mine. No, don't worry, nor mine.
Although wait until I have to sleep in the spare room with the orb weavers.
But there's only one. There's only one orb
Further
weaver in.
safer.
Yeah. There's only one orb weaver. Lydia's staying at my house next weekend because we've got Comic Con. Yay!
Jason, you know my orb weaver.
Yeah.
My partner come downstairs this morning, walked into went to let the dogs out and walked straight into its web that it had made right across my back door. So it's moved from the window now to the back door. So I've had to move it I had to catch it in a cup and move it into a bigger window. This web that it created overnight must be 4 foot, easily 4 foot across. And it's about maybe 2 feet deep. It's not completely filled in, but it was huge and it did it overnight. Couldn't believe it.
Take care, Kai. Hope you're better soon, mate. Hope you're better soon.
Is that a UK orb weaver?
No.
It was from a mystery box from the Spider Shop at the Bedford show. So I have got no idea. But I love that spider. It's so I've just let it out in my kitchen. It can go where it wants to go, to be honest. I just don't really want to walk into a face full of web.
It depends, Dobby. Lots of people make the Predator. I mean, the Predator, the third scale one I've got is Prime One Studios, who are a Japanese company. That one is long sold out now. I don't know how many are in the UK. Not many. Maybe 2 or 3. Nobody wanted to pay the shipping, justifiably.
I would sell one of my kids for your Xenomorph.
Oh, the alien one. Yeah.
Possibly both of my kids, if anyone wants to make an offer. Like, oh my God, that thing is incredible. If they did that in a mini, I'd be all over that.
I think that was the statue of the year for me.
With Jason, then he's got
Yeah,
two
I
cleaners.
heard in your video you're in love with that thing, aren't you?
Yeah, it's pretty mega. It's pretty mega, that one.
It is amazing.
It's why I sort of sold off. People keep asking me to do a video on why I sold off my wet. Now the Weta pieces were fantastic. Don't get me wrong, and it was reluctant for me to sell them. They were certainly the best. They captured the moment better than anyone else can. But the thing is, I think if you're going to have Weta 6 scale, that's all you got to have. You can't have quarter scales and half scales. They just don't. When I had the lads around for poker, I thought not one person mentioned the Escape Off the Road. They were all on about the Terminator and things like that. And I think that was the first time I thought, wow, I'm really surprised that no one's mentioned like the Escape Off the Road, which is absolutely stunning, a proper work of art. That was a work of art. So that was sort of set the seed of doubting me with 1/6 scale. And plus, I wanted the scope. I wanted the scope to be able to buy other things. I mean, I like villains. I love villains, and I love dark characters. I just love them. It's like I said this on another live stream once. I said I can remember I used to watch He-Man as a kid, the cartoon in the 80s, He-Man, and I used to get so friggin' annoyed that Skeletor never won. I was like, what's wrong with that? Skeletor should win one, just one. And then you used to have that condescending blonde-haired prick at the end telling us all a moral story. You know, you're like, Skeletor wouldn't do that. Skeletor wouldn't do that.
Skeletor just walk off like a boss.
Yeah, exactly. And Evil Lyn, how fit was Evil Lyn? So yeah, I love Dark.
I think it works really well now, the way you've gone sort of Alien and Predator and Terminator and, a mix of stuff. It kind of fits better than, the different scales.
Are you looking at grabbing? Are you looking at grabbing any of the new Prime 1 Terminator pieces?
Me?
Yes, sir.
They're third, aren't they? They're 30 scale, aren't they? 'Cause I've got a half scale. Not the tier, 'cause I've got the half scale T800. I like the battle damage Garni one. That's the only one I'd consider. But again, now I've really got to think of space and room and
Yeah.
where I'm going to put things. And I've got loads of room in the spare room, which it's going to be a spider room anyway. But I'm going to put statues in there.
Jason,
But I don't.
I'll be
Yeah.
back in 2 minutes. Just the little one's having a bit of a meltdown.
Don't worry, dude. Just come back when you're ready, mate. Come back when you're ready. Don't worry. We'll be here.
Cheers, bro.
Yeah, to be honest with you, John, I don't want to spend $3,000 on something and have it sitting in the one room in the house that I spend the least amount of time in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially when you're if you're looking to pick up more than one, right? The T1000s, they did really well, and as well as the T800. So it's tough, but it's crazy to see where we've come from that half scale to now these third scales, and the price difference, and where the hobby's gone. Because that half scale is stunning as well.
Yeah, I mean that now is the piece I've had in my collection the longest. That half scale T800.
Mm-hmm.
That's going into my. I'm going to do a video on it soon as well because I can remember when I bought that, people had already got theirs and people were stressing about the leaning issues on it, and it hasn't moved a micro. And the number of times I've bumped it, and so it is wobbly. But yeah, I mean, I absolutely love it. I must do another sort of. I want to do like a tour, but I want to do like all my animals as well. But I am going to be thinning them out a little bit though. Might chuck some in your car, Lydia, when you go home on Sunday.
Maybe.
I'm going to send a couple to Leah as well, so as a housewarming, because you just moved into a new house, so.
You have to let me send you something for that.
No, don't worry about it. I sent Ling. Ling's had a freebie as well. She had a Valhalla.
I did. It's so cute.
Really?
Yeah.
It's the cutest spider
I'm
ever.
dying to get my hands on one.
It keeps showing itself now.
How big is it?
Well, it half shows itself, so I don't quite know. About 3 to 4 centimeters.
Nice.
It's very cute.
I'm really trying to get my hands on one. You
Well,
don't
I
really
was
see him about
my
too.
hands on one. What did you say?
So you don't really see him around too much.
I was trying to get one from Damien, and
Yeah.
then Jason came along and made me cry.
Well, I bought 10. I bought 10 Valhallas. I've got
Where
8.
did you get 10? I can't even find one.
They're not in the UK.
Transfer Shop EU. Damon's had a lot of money off me. My shopping addiction, unfortunately. But it has to go somewhere, you know. It's statues or it's clothes or it's transfer. I mean, now it's ants. I mean, bloody hell. I mean, it's just I can't control it, man. It's like, but then again, I don't smoke, I don't drink. I've never done drugs. You know, I go to the gym and I go to work and I come home and spend money.
There's no point
Nothing
having
wrong
it if
with
you're
that.
not going to spend it.
Just got a house full of stuff. I mean, I've got to start sorting out what I'm going to do with all these adult enclosures now because I need, first of all, I need to sort some out. But yeah, there's going to be a hell of a lot more. The next time you come and stay next year, Liz, there's going to be a lot more spiders in that room. I can assure you.
There'll be no space with all the big enclosures.
What about that's what I was going to talk about as well, was conventions. So I've just been to a spider convention, which I haven't been to for a long time, and I had like the best day. It's definitely in my top 3 best days of the year. I met Natalie there for the first time, met Lingy Bling there for the first time, and obviously Scott, I met him for the first time there, and I had such a great day. But I know it's like me and Lydia have got the Comic Con next weekend, which is another convention. Statues, you obviously have conventions for those as well. So I assume we've all been to a convention of some description. I mean, I've got to admit, because I really struggle with nerves, and people don't think I do, but I do. I've told people this who've known, like, no, you don't. I'm like, yes, I bloody do. I just hide it well. But I mean, I love it. I think it's fantastic. I mean, are you all like convention goers, or if you can get to one, would you, do you go? Because again, you surround yourself with people who are the same as you,
Yeah, but
which
you
feels
annoyed me
another
all
thing.
day
Why?
because you put my wristband on wonky, but yours is perfect, and I had to flash it, flapping up
You
my arm.
got annoyed because I took a photograph of you without a filter on.
Yeah.
I put your wristband on wonky because it was a long way to bend down to put it on.
I had a big flappy
That's
bit going
me.
up my arm. It was so annoying all day. And then he was like, "Oh, let's take a picture." I was like, "No."
I am.
Oh, that tickled me. I don't know why.
It was a very good day.
It was. I thoroughly enjoyed it. But again, I enjoyed like the Comic Cons that me and Lydia going to as well. We're talking about Emma. We're talking about Comic Cons because conventions actually, whether it's transfer conventions, statue conventions, Comic Cons. We're talking about conventions and just the fact that I mean, I personally love them, even though I'm not brilliant in heavily crowded places, which is why I live in a little cottage in a quiet village.
Well, I hadn't. This is like I'm sharing with you guys because I consider you my friends now. But like, lockdown did a real number on me, and I had. Well, I mean, I've still got it, but I've been suffering with really bad agoraphobia, and I had not been able to leave the house like at all. So I decided that my thing was going to be to go to the Bedford invert show that they had because it was quite near and I felt comfortable going there. But going there and meeting a load of people that, had the same interest as me, forcing myself to, speak up and try and interact with people, and then even speaking to you guys on these live streams, I would never have done this if I hadn't found people that I thought that I could sit and have a conversation with about all this stuff that everybody else in my life doesn't care about. So I think that the people that you meet within the hobbies that you're interested in really become incredibly important. It's helped me no end. And going to that show, I still stand by the fact that was the best thing that I've done in years for my mental health, just because it was a fun day, got to take my family with me. It was amazing. So I mean, I think they're absolutely amazing. I'd love to go to more. I'd love to go to like Comic-Con and things like that. I don't even know what's available out there because I haven't looked in so long, but I love all that. I think it's amazing.
I think there's nothing like going in a room where everybody is into the same thing that you're into, and there's no obscure conversation because everybody knows the obscure stuff, and it's I think it's a really fun thing to do, and it's a really good way. I suppose that's maybe another way that these things make them hobbies, that they have a dedicated group of people that are really invested in it, and you get to meet them in person or meet them online, and there's a community around them. It's I haven't actually been to a statue convention, but it's certainly something I'll be very interested in going to. Unfortunately, they don't seem to happen really in UK. You need to go to America or East Asia or Southeast Asia sort of thing.
I think it's more that they'll work their way into Comic Cons. I think.
Yeah.
You certainly get the. I know when me and Lydia. Yeah, we went the last one we went to. I don't know if did I show you Lydia or not, I can't remember. But they were selling replica swords there because they got a lot of Lord of the Rings actors there because they got all the replica swords there. The one I've got hanging on my wall there, which is made by Ravenforge, they got it up there. Was it £200 Led? They got it for?
Yeah, I think so.
40 quid. 40 quid from Ravenforge. So, but I think it's only a matter of time before there was a guy there. I got his card. I bought it for my daughter. I got his card in the other end. he was making the Pokemon inside, like in Pokemon balls, but they got the actual little Pokemons in it. But he made like all the terrain and stuff like that. Okay, it's not statues, but it's very similar, and they were like really well done. I bought one for my daughter, like, and I thought they were fantastic. So I think it's only a matter of time. I mean, the Telford Comic Con, I think, is it's getting bigger and bigger, isn't it? And more popular. I mean, it's getting really good. So I think it's only a matter of time before we get them at Comic Con.
And I mean, like, we met in the queue, just like chatting, because everyone's there for the same reason, and you can be chatting about Star Trek or Star Wars one minute, and then Lord of the Rings, and yeah, it's just brilliant. And we went along to the Invert show. There's one in Bristol, and it was our first time. We had no idea what we were doing. We were like, we're just going for a good day out. Came home with a mantis and a spider, because my husband's like, I need to get a tarantula. And yeah, and so we're kind of like counting down when's the next one we can get to. And yeah, it was just brilliant.
Bristol was packed.
Yeah.
And hot, very hot.
It was. I was pissing it down outside.
Bristol was such
they let everybody in sort of half an hour early, didn't they, because of the rain?
That was such a sweaty show. Sweaty.
You want to go to a Comic Con, honestly, the wafts of BO you get when you walk around there. I'm like, God, I know you've not heard of deodorant, sticks them in your rucksack, for Christ's sake.
A lot of them haven't, to be fair.
I gave Scott a hug at Bristol, and I was so paranoid that he was going to like get like wet on him. I was sweaty.
Didn't take long for it to go into the sewer, did it?
It was really
hot. Bristol stays at Bristol.
Yeah.
So what would be the biggest
go back to the ethos of tarantula conventions and statue conventions and any kind of convention? It's the fact that I think on a daily life, in your daily life, you go to work and nobody there will give a shit about your statues, will give a shit about your tarantulas, or whatever you're into, whatever the hobby is, unless it's football or cars. Generally people are going to be like, what the fuck are you talking about? But then you go to a convention and you're in a room full of thousands of people that all love exactly what you do, and they're absolutely amazing.
I guess that's kind of like what this is. This is like, we come to these live streams and go and visit everyone's channels because we're just looking for that sense of familiarity and community and people that like the same things that we like, because people
don't have anybody in my life that likes tarantulas. Like everyone calls me weird for it.
I have converted most of the people in my immediate family. Well, when I say converted, I mean I've made them so they're not arachnophobic anymore. They can kind of be in a room with spiders, which is lucky because I'm in my kitchen now and this is where all my spiders are. So they'd have a bit of a hard time if they couldn't manage it. But like my mum always said that she'd never get a tarantula, but she came with me to Bedford and we walked out of there and she came home with one tarantula, and then since then she's now got I think 3 or 4 in total. So even if you don't think you like those kinds of things, when you're around other people that enjoy those things and they build up this kind of fun atmosphere, you can get into it more, can't you? That's like with me, the statues. I don't know anything about statues, but I see how passionate you guys are about it, and it makes me want to learn more. It makes me want to see more, and look at your channel, see what you've got. Just because I like to see what other people are interested in.
Lads at work, they're all into the football, and they said, we don't understand why you keep spiders and stuff like that. And I said, look, your passion for football is my passion for spiders. The passion is the same. And I don't know, just that slight conversation, there's a penny drop for them. So every now and again, they'll come up to me with a picture that they found on the internet going, have you got one of these?
I agree, because it was like from the age of 17 to about the age of 23, all my mates, It was football, motorbikes, and things like that. The only thing I could join conversations in was masturbating to porn. That was the only thing that I had in common with them. I couldn't join in with anything else.
I was Diablo 2, porn, music, and motorbikes. That was it. Hate football.
Yeah, no, I got no interest in it. No. And I worked on a shift. I worked on a shift. I worked on a shift for about 25 years where they were all football mad. All of them were absolutely football mad. So, like you, Lee, I mean, the nearest I've got to having someone I know get into tarantulas is Liv, who's up there, because she got into them because of seeing me get back into them. There's no one in my. There you go. There's no one in my that does the statues either. So.
Yeah,
I've got one who I took to. I think it was Bristol, possibly. I can't remember which one it was. But he got into ants. So that's literally like the closest thing I've got is someone who likes ants, but he's not into tarantulas. So yeah, everyone in my life just calls me weird for liking tarantulas. And I think that's why, like, when I got into TikTok and things like that, it was so important to me because that's what sort of brought me into the community.
Yeah, and I think with tarantulas as well, and I guess it's the same with the statues. With the statues, I guess people say, oh, they're expensive. You're an idiot for spending that much money on statues. What are you going to do with it? You must be mad. And then with spiders, they're like, oh, I don't know why you've got those things in your house. They're disgusting. I wouldn't come in your house. Wouldn't have them in my house. And I don't, if people can see you've got a genuine passion about something, I don't know why so many people feel the need to put it down, and they do it all the bloody time, and it's horrible. Like I would never do that to somebody else that had a passion for something. Like I would just enjoy them enjoying it, So I don't know why people have to be so off about the whole thing. It's fine if you don't like it. That's fine. You go do you, and I'll do me over here. But there's no need to be rude about it,
Maybe that's why people.
I think there's a lot of miserable people
like that. Is the reason you get on is because you're the kind of person that maybe you don't feel the need to be a dick to people.
No, I will always try and find something to have a connection with someone, because that to me is more important than having the exact same interests. Like I'm interested in you and what you like, and I hope that people would be the same way towards me. But unfortunately, in this hobby in particular, and I'm sure in yours as well, people are not like that. People are so unbelievably judgmental, and it's horrible. But that's why I just rather have spiders around me than people. Apart from you lot, because you guys get it.
I think there's an awful lot of people that are, I think a lot of these kind of hobbies seem a bit maybe childish to them, or they've kind of exorcised them from their life in their teenage years, and they've grown to be adults, which don't really have anything particularly interesting that they specifically like or are particularly passionate about. So I think it's a strange thing whenever they see somebody who is really interested in something that for them is completely irrelevant. But I think that just talks more about them than the people like us that are collecting something.
Yeah,
I think on the whole, collectors are happier people because they're surrounding themselves with things that they cared about and are interested in, and doing these things. The amount of things you learn, my knowledge of tarantulas has exponentially increased since doing these live streams. So I think it's being, a lot of people are just not open-minded to other people's interests, and it's their loss.
Yeah, definitely.
If somebody complains to me about my spiders, I just start getting the phone out and just going, have you seen this one, this one, and this one, until they fuck off. And I don't care.
Chris said that's not the only thing you can. Chris said that's not the only thing you can
them or their hobby. So have a little bit of respect and come over and have a chat. At the end of the day, if everybody liked the same thing, this planet would be absolutely boring.
Yeah.
And it's like, before I met Jason, I wasn't interested in statues or anything like that. I just wanted to watch Lord of the Rings on the telly. And now he's like opened up my mind, and it's like, oh,
Yeah, I didn't even
And
know
I think,
these things
I think if you're going to be that much of a person where you just close yourself down to experience or learning new things, then I haven't really got time of day for you.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
I mean, some of the nicest things that I've had in the last 4 months of putting. I mean, it was never a question of me getting back into the transfer because I wanted to do it. I mean, people at work at I was talking about it over a year ago. But some of the most rewarding things for me is not only the fact that so many of my statue friends have stayed on my YouTube channel. It's the guys that have, strangely, the ones that are really arachnophobic as well. They like message me and like, when's your next spider video on, Jace? Like, when you're doing another spider video, you gotta get a spider video on. Fuck statues. Get a spider video on.
Oh, that's lovely.
I've had friends that were really negative about me keeping spiders. 2 years later, they're now subscribed.
There you go.
I'm going to intervene quickly. You can carry on talking because I just want to give the chat a chance to get their predictions in. Because I'm going to tell you what the challenge is now. And it's me against 8 of you. Right.
Okay.
Now, I saw this on YouTube and I thought, oh, that'd be a good one. That'll be a good one to do for a bit of fun. So, what it is, you all need to be sitting face onto your cameras when they do it. Because I say, if anyone in the chat correctly predicts the winner, I'll do a prize. But only if you correctly predict the winner. Or winners. They might all win. So what it is, I watch these people who have to do dad jokes. So you're only allowed to tell dad jokes, but the other people aren't allowed to laugh. So I've got a list of dad jokes that I found on the internet, and I've tried to get them themey. But they are dad jokes. I've got 10. I'm going to tell, so I've got 10 goes to make all 8 of you laugh. And you've got to stay looking at the screen. John, you might need to come a little bit nearer so I can see, because you can't be bowing your head or hiding your mouth. Excessive smirking and grinning is out. So that will be what it is. That will be what it is. So I've got 10 jokes. And they are dad jokes. And I've tried to get them themey. So I've got 10 goes to try and get all 8 of you to laugh. So keep talking what you're talking about. Sorry? No, you're not going to laugh at all. If you laugh, you're out. If you laugh, you're out.
No,
That's
I mean,
the
that's what
challenge.
you've got to do.
No. If I tell one joke and one of you laughs, you're out. I've got 7 more to get there, and I've got 9 more jokes to get.
Smiling?
Sorry?
Did you say no smiling?
Excessive grinning. So if you're like massively trying to hold back a laugh, because it's hard enough. There's that joke. Don't forget. And also, you're not doing it face to face. It's on screen. So it's quite a challenge for me. So if anyone in the chat can predict who they think will win or winners, if someone guesses it correctly, I'll do a giveaway to that person who wins. If anyone can do it. So you can all carry on just what we were chatting about before for a bit, just to give chat a chance to sort of. I've got my prediction. I've got who I think will be the first out, and who I think will be the hardest to get out. Yes, 100%. She's doing it now. Look, you can't be covering your mouth up and stuff like that. Yeah, Chris. So you're saying that I'll win, Chris?
No, he's saying he'll win.
I think there's going to be in all fairness, I've got a chance now because the German's not here. I mean that would have been getting the German to fucking laugh. We do not do this in our country, Jason. It is a mundane thing.
It would have been funnier if he was the one telling the jokes. That would have been.
Actually, Kai has come up with a really good challenge for the future that me and him have got to sort out between us, and I will do a prize for that one. So, yeah, well, that is 100% right. That's what my money's on. But you've got to guess the winner. Or who you think will win. So, here we go.
I'm not looking at Scott either. I can't look at him.
You got to look straight. So yeah, we'll do it in a minute. We'll just give people a chance to get their prediction. Really. So that was it. That was my. Thing's been bugging me to try and to try and give a hint of what things will be. So, but I just thought that would be a fun one to throw in.
She was mentioning it this morning in group chat.
Was she? Well, I got so much stick for my donut one, which I watched that back, and I didn't do that bad. 2 minutes and 9 seconds to eat a donut.
That was the most amateur thing I've ever seen in my life.
That was a piss
So
take.
slow.
It was
You're supposed to smash it, and there you were nibbling at it. I was like, oh, come on, dude.
You should have literally flattened it, folded it, shoved it.
I gave you 11 seconds to get that in, and you took over 2 minutes, nearly 3 minutes.
That would have gone straight down the frigging gullet.
Yeah, but I told you it.
Are you working Christmas Day?
I finished Christmas Day morning. I'm working till I do 12-hour shifts. I finish at 6:30 Christmas Day morning.
I'm doing a live stream Christmas Day evening. If you're up for a bit of a challenge on that one, food wise.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, I know. Oh, actually, while we're waiting for a few more predictions, I'll just let you know what my giveaway is. Now, I've picked out 20 spiders from my collection, 20, and I'm going to give them away on a live stream. So all you got to do is be on the live stream, be subscribed to the channel, and I'm just going to ask questions. So, and I can tell you now, in that collection, 4 have gone already because 2 are going to Lee's house win present and 2 are going to Mark for his giveaway, which leaves 16. But in with the 16, there is a Thaba Red, there is a Fankei Red, there is a Valhalla, there is a Vietnam Silver, there's a Panama Monster. So I will be doing that as a live stream, and I'll just basically I'll just sort some questions out. So you need to have a think about what statues and things I've got. So what things I'm into will be an idea of what questions I will ask.
What you're into?
Yeah. Well, I'm only going to ask questions on things I know the answer to.
If I ask John, he's going to say dwarf porn, isn't he?
I don't know what conversations you and John have had. You're the one trying to look like Gandalf. Oh, even a dwarf.
Gimli.
I'm Gimli's dad.
Yeah. Going.
So yeah, okay. Have we had it right? I don't think we waited long enough. There's a lot of people who've not got any faith in you and winning this.
No, she's going.
Are you just trying to keep a straight face now?
No, I just like how people don't know me very well.
There's a lot of people voting for you here, Scott. Right, let's do this then. Let's do it. So I've got a load of jokes here. I tried to get them so that they were sort of topical. And I've got 10. You all need to be looking at your screens. Okay.
I feel like laughing already and you haven't even said anything yet.
Who's laughing? I know, I've got to try and read and keep an eye on you lot as well. So, hang on a minute, guys. So we'll go for Scott, and since everyone's backing you, so I've actually got a ginger joke here. So I'll do that one first. How does a ginger high five his mate? He claps. Oh, God, this is going to be difficult. Okay, then. What did Yoda say when he saw himself in 4K? HDMI.
Oh, we started already? Oh.
Yeah.
When did the joke start?
Oh, that's harsh. Okay. So my family and I have just found out that my pervy uncle is addicted to Viagra. No one has taken it harder than me. Well, you lot are going to absolutely annihilate me on this. What's this? I don't know. A vicious circle. I've got one. I've got one. How many have I done now? What did Cinderella say when she got to the ball?
Oh,
Godling, you are going really good at this. I've been having sex with my stepmom in an elevator. It's wrong on so many levels. Hang on a bit, guys. Me and my brother were in a hotel and I asked him to pass me a leaflet. And he said, brochure. I'm going to get annihilated. I'm glad you were here, Lee, so you laughed. I thought these were really good.
I wanted to laugh before you even started with the jokes. The fact you told me I couldn't laugh made me want to laugh.
Julian's having a bit of a hang on. I think I've only got 1, 2, 3. Oh, here's one. Yeah, I've got a Lord of the Rings one here. What's Gollum's point of view on smoking and vaping? Filthy, dirty habits. Okay, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm glad I'm not giving prizes away for this because you lot would absolutely
I think
annihilate
you need to Google another 10.
The dad joke. I'm stuck using dad jokes here. That's all I can use. What's the name of the? This is the last one I think I've got. What's the name of this Asian Dwayne Johnson? The what? That's it. That's my 10. So you lot have absolutely annihilated me. 7-1. So congrats. I'm not doing a price for that one, by the way. So you absolutely did me. Well done.
You
I'm
wanna
not
know
doing
a
that one again.
secret?
Sorry?
Do you want to know a secret that only
What's
Anton
that?
knows? Jokes go way over
What?
my head. I don't get them.
Did you know then that I was going to do these? Is that why you were saying before that you
I had an
if you
idea.
messaged? Yeah.
Yeah, and then I was like, okay.
Yeah, I like the vicious. I like the vicious circle. I thought the vicious circle one was really. Was that the one that you laughed at, Lee? The vicious circle.
Yeah, it was the one she laughed at.
I like the vicious, and I thought the Yoda one was because I told these to a few lads at work just to try them out, and I thought the Yoda one was really good.
Anton tells me jokes all the time, and he gets so frustrated at me because they just go.
You know what? If somebody had a bet with me, who would be the first out? I would definitely put 20 quid on you being the first out.
Like I said, you don't know me.
And I thought, and I, when Scott came on, I thought Dennis and Scott were going to be the hardest. I thought I might get Julian with the. I thought I might get you with the Gollum one.
I nearly did.
Did you nearly
they were
go?
Sick and Twisted, I would have been laughing.
Well, I can't do that. I can't do that. They've got to be dad jokes.
My humour is like through the bone and then about close to the bone.
Yeah, the thing is, because they were dad, I mean, I spent like ages trying to find stuff that I thought I try to keep it topical as well.
What?
To the channel.
BPD means you can turn your emotions off, so I'm pretty all right.
What's BPD?
Me?
But at least no one got it right, so I don't feel crazy. But yeah, anyway, so I will be doing that giveaway. But I'm hoping to do that giveaway before Christmas. That tarantula one. So yeah, but that one that you're on about. If I'm, so I don't know what I'm doing that day. I don't know if I'm going. What time are you doing the stream?
6 o'clock.
You're doing it from yours, are you? Yeah. If I'm back
Big
home.
giveaway.
Yeah. Okay.
Should be mystery boxes, there'll be all sorts of shit going.
Well, when I do mine, if people want to come on the live stream, you're welcome to come on the. But if you come on the live stream, you obviously can't enter because people will have to type their answers, and you can just say yours, which means it won't be fair. But if anyone wants to come on when I do it, then you're more than welcome to join me. But it will literally be just asking questions, and whoever types the answer right first will win, whichever one that is. But there's some juicy spiders. Because the thing is, I told myself I wasn't going to go over 200, and with the ones I've got coming next week, I think I'm on 223. I think.
223. Holy.
Do we revise? Not. I mean, you can do. The questions aren't going to be based on statues, Poppy. It's more sort of the films that I watch, and it's just going to be questions on transfers, questions on sort of films and things like that. It's just, and they're not going to be ridiculously stupidly hard questions either, because otherwise there's no point doing it. But it will just be a simple case of I'll ask questions, and the first person to get the right answer up in the comments will win that transfer. So, and that's it. And I say there'll be 16 for the 16th fight. I might do like I'm thinking of doing like a group, like 3 transfers together, like really good ones. But I don't think I'm asking the questions enough for that. So I think what you'd need to do is, I don't know, I need to think of something like a challenge for that for you to go and do and come back. I'll give you the link so you can come on screen and show that you've done it. So I need to think on that. Yeah. So, but anyway. The other one is I've got here actually about doing an extra stream, doing a live stream before Christmas. Would anybody be interested in? This will be prior to Christmas, by the way. Not. Would anyone be interested in doing that?
What? Sorry.
If I do a stream before Christmas, doing like a Christmassy themed one. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Put baubles in the beard, couldn't I?
Yeah.
Or spray it grey and do Father Christmas.
Well, you could always do Comic-Con as well, because cosplay.
Send me an image over for your live, and I'll put it on my TikTok, the giveaway one.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I've got to work a date out for it. Yeah. I mean, I've done the thumbnail for it, so I've already got the thumbnail ready for it. It's just so I don't know my camera. So I've already done my thumbnail.
Go big screen, Jason. Can't see it.
Oh yeah, but I can't hold that there and do the big screen thing in June.
Do the big screen first and then hold it up.
No, that's Julian.
Wrong one.
Oh, baby.
Hang on. There we go.
Very Christmas cardy.
What is a Christmas giveaway? Christmas giveaway here. If I'd have done like beach and palm trees, it might have thrown people a bit.
Why does it say Christmas and not Happy Birthday?
Yeah. So anyway, yeah.
Little tree.
Talking of Christmas, what's everyone's plans then before the end of the year?
No idea.
Survive.
Hope so.
Anything? Anybody?
Well,
actually going back to what we talked. Sorry.
You coming to the Brighton show?
No, sorry. I'm not. I'm working, and it's a bit of a troll sort of thing as well.
I'll phone you in sick. It's fine.
Not now you've live streamed it, mate. Unfortunately,
you've only had one day off in 19 years, isn't it?
No, I get regular time off. Unfortunately, now though our time off. Once, no, one day I was late.
There you
Late.
go. You deserve a sick day.
Yeah, I think I do. I've not had one though for a while. The last one I think I had Bell's palsy. The last time I had sick. Well, it could have been COVID. But no, I had a look on the rotor. I'm on shift, so sort of I'm working now all the way up till Christmas pretty much.
So is anyone waiting on anything until the end of the year, or?
Well, Rich King, but I don't know when that's coming. I don't even know what Prime want to do at the moment. They just don't seem to be doing anything.
Apart from many Batmans.
Hey, if you're a Batman collector, you're good.
Hey, nothing wrong with Batman, okay?
John Batman.
The more the merrier.
Yeah, yeah, that's what the jokes. That's a running joke. I mean, they throw out 100 Batmans a year, and they still sell them, even though the ESs might go a little lower. They still sell them.
And that's the thing, that the ESs have been plummeting, but
yeah, that is the thing. But waiting. I'm always waiting. But this year, realistically, don't think anything will come in. I've got hope that some Infinity Sauron bots will come in, but I don't think so. Still waiting for my replacement ring wraith bust as well from Infinity. It's been waiting for months, and then the Prime One pieces. I'm hoping next year, and then Weta. No, don't think anything will come in this year either. So no.
What was wrong with your ring wraith? What was wrong with your ring wraith bust?
The one that Jason also has. The sword is leaning inwards, and it's not the hands. The gauntlets are not connecting 100%. So it's just not straight. It's slanting. And you look from afar, it's fine. But if you're looking from the side, you can clearly see it. And the guys over at Spic Fiction, Shane, he's like, okay, I'm going to just get a replacement for you, but it's going to take a while. And it is taking a while. So, but at some point we'll come in and we'll get it replaced. But for now, it's there. But the gauntlets are not locking together, so it happens.
I know what else I forgot to mention before, because Megan was wearing that hat that she was looking for me, which is the white hat. But she's also. How are your chances coming on that you've knitted? Have you got one there to show? Have you seen this, guys? These tarantulas that she's knitted.
Felted.
Hang on, I've got to put you on big screen. Hang on a minute. Let me put you on big. Okay, there you go.
Still a work in practice.
Bloody hell.
That's so
leg.
Very nice.
I can't wait to see that when it's finished.
It's my first attempt, so I'm still like on the phone to my mum, like, what's the best way to do this? So, but she gave me loads of stuff, so I'm like, I've definitely got the right colours for a Versacolor and maybe a GBB. So I'm gonna wait for mine to arrive, so I've got, my spiders there, and I can look at them, and
Because I said, if you can knit them, I mean, can you imagine that? Because it's not like just some generic person who can knit who's just Google tarantula. You could actually say, oh, can you do me? And she'll know what species you're on about. So you could have like Saba, can you do me a Saba Red? Or just and then you can go and knit you a Saba Red or a Valhalla.
If only it was that quick, but yeah. Eventually.
Sorry, what was...
She said if only you were that quick.
Because you'd have to start your business, Lid Spiz.
Yeah, you...
What?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good name. It's a bit cheesy, though.
That would be the name for a knitting thing, for doing custom ordered transfers, knitted transfers.
Sounds like a new Etsy business in the works.
Hey, that's a good place.
It would work. I'm telling you, people will go crazy for it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And then you go from spiders to little Batman, and
Yeah.
If you need pictures of any, just drop me or Ling a message. We'll probably have whatever you're after.
Mine are all very tiny at the moment, so.
And you be careful what pictures you get back from Scott as well.
What pictures? What pictures are you offering, Scott?
Spider pictures.
Oh, okay.
Like, what pictures? No,
Get a
right
tiny
out
little
If you,
link.
want, if you want the other pictures, then you've got to buy the advent calendar. Advent calendar, the yearly calendar.
I've heard about this calendar. I think I need to get one.
Please don't.
No, I'm doing it.
Oh, you've got one.
Don't you
Wait,
fucking
where do
dare.
I get it from?
Oh, move. Yep, they wrong one.
Don't
Yeah.
I'll
you
go and flip
fucking
through
dare.
it because I want. Yeah, I clicked through it.
You can fuck
Where do I
right
get
off.
one from?
Leah over at Unusual Pets.
Right, okay.
Oh, you gotta show one. You're not even flipping it. Come
Yeah, you've got
on.
to show
Show
one.
yours, Link.
You're gonna show January.
Show one.
Or
Show
Stop.
yours, Link.
Show January.
No, show yours.
No, not mine.
Yes, yours.
No.
Come on, Anton's in the chat. You gotta make him happy just this once.
Goon.
you saving that for OnlyFans? Oh, there you go.
Okay. Get off
Brilliant.
Okay, where can you buy that one again? For sure the link.
I'll drop Jason the details and he can message whoever wants one. But they're actually being sold for charity as well.
Charity is always good.
Just say again, Scott, where people can get one from, please, mate. So everybody.
From Leah over at Unusual Pets.
There you go, guys.
Not me.
On Facebook, Unusual Pets. But yeah, Facebook
It's
and
easier to inbox
YouTube.
a personal page, so I'll message that to Jason, and then if people are interested, because I should imagine most in chat know you personally.
Yeah, if you just link it, put it on my page, or send it to me, and I'll put it on my Facebook page. Then people can just get it off my Facebook page. So we'll do it that way. Which is yeah, that'll be brilliant. Well, myself. What month are you, Scott?
I'm not.
It's not going to hurt to tell us what month you are. I mean, you're in the bloody thing.
I said the word microphone.
Let me have a look what month
on
he
a
is.
live, and obviously the subscribers wouldn't let it drop, so I kind of used the microphone on mine.
Am I allowed to show yours? Now you've embarrassed me.
Do we want to put this on full screen? Because this might actually burn your retinas out.
Am I allowed to, Scott? I need your consent.
Yeah, it's not. It's if you're into fat blokes, yeah, stick it up.
Definitely.
I
apologise for the.
It's amazing.
I apologise for all the men in the comments now getting semis. Sorry.
It is amazing. And you know what, guys? It did take a lot of balls for us to do that.
Damn straight.
I was the last one to do it, and it took me about 4 or 5 months to take the picture.
Yeah. I just put mine down straight away. I was like, get it out of the way.
So, I've always been like skinny, and then after being skinny, I was bodybuilding, a bit like John used to, Jason. So it's only been like the last 5 years since I've been a fat dude.
No.
I've gone the other way. So I've done the opposite. I've always been overweight, and now I've gone thin.
I like being overweight. It means I can eat what I want when I want.
Yeah, no, you're still young, and you can do something about it. I got to 51 and thought I need to do something.
How old are you, Jason?
52.
52. I'm 44, dude.
Yeah, well, that's 8 years.
Yeah, literally just right.
And when you start getting older, mate, it counts. Trust me. People always used to say to me, "As you get older, you get wiser." That's the biggest load of bollocks anyone will ever tell you, because I know loads of adults, and none of them are fucking wise. And as you get older, you get a healthy respect, a very sobering, healthy respect for the fragility of mortality. That's what you get.
I'm
I can assure you
still
of
as
that.
crazy as I was when I was a teenager. It's just the thought process is a bit longer now because I think things through.
Hey, I see.
I
A
think
little
I'm
bit.
just losing the
Most of
plot.
the time.
As I'm
I've
getting
got
older, I'm
more
just
than a semi
losing
here, Scott says
my
Anton.
brain.
Anton.
I feel like I'm age regressing. I'm going backwards.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I
I mean,
hit
it's just-
over 30 and I was like, I just started going backwards. I think I'm in my teens at the moment, to be honest.
like Benjamin Button.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's just being happy, isn't it? I mean, that's the key thing for me. Was the last 12 months, that's what I sorted out. You know, my own self was just to get, because I wasn't happy before. So many people have asked me how I lost all the weight that I did, and I just said to them, you know, the first thing you've got to focus on is yourself. Don't worry about what anybody else thinks. If you're happy with the way you are, that's all that matters. That's all that matters. Nothing else matters. I said I did what I did because I wasn't happy with the way I was.
I was anorexic through most of my 20s.
My gosh.
I'm a 28-inch waist now. I'm a 20-inch waist,
I was more
and
like 22,
I
20,
have
22 to 24.
I have never bought a pair of 20-inch waist jeans, which means the last time I was a 20-inch waist, my mum was buying my clothes.
Damn.
And
I
do you know
thought the
what the
reason.
most annoying thing is? I had a made-to-measure suit done 2 years ago, right? And I've still got it upstairs, and I love it, and it's made. The thing is, I had that done 2 years ago when I had all my weight on me. I tried it on sometime when after I'd lost my weight. I literally looked like Tom Hanks at the end of Big. It's so oversized. And I got in touch with the tailor who made it because I had it all fitted, you know, mate. And he was like, he said, well, how much weight have you lost? And I said, well, I'm like a 29-inch waist now, 28, 29. He said, well, I can't take it in 5 inches. He said, I'm 34. So it's kind of bugged me. It just hangs there in case I put the weight back on. If I put the weight back on, I've got a suit.
So what's the secret? You get 230 spiders, so you take the time to feed them. You don't have time to eat yourself.
Well, I lost the weight before the spines. I actually lost the weight before the spines, but yeah,
See,
it's kind of.
Jason, a joke like that would have cleared the board. You see, everybody laughed.
That's because you made the joke about me.
No, but you look great, man. Yeah, you did a really good job.
Yeah, cheers, dude. Like I say, it's one of those things that the only advice I give people is if you're unhappy, you know what makes you unhappy. So that's what you focus on. Don't worry about. I mean, I didn't worry about what anybody else was doing. I only worried about what I wanted to do. I didn't follow any programs or anything like that because you know you follow a fitness program. They might say do 20 press. Well, I hate doing press ups. I've never done press ups. It was since doing this. So I don't want to do them. There's other ways of exercise.
I used to hit the gym hard, and I mean really hard, like every day. And I was
I'll
like,
say you're a big lad
doing
because
that.
you only see people on the screen. When I met you at the show, I was like, oh, Scott's a bit tall.
I was
But then
15 and a half stone when I was training.
I was 15 stones, and before I lost my weight, that's the weight I got to. Was 15. So 5'6" and 15 stones.
I was benching like 160 kilogram.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
But
impressive.
then what I found is when I was doing that, it was like I had long blonde hair. So every time you walk past the shop window, you were flexing and stuff like that. And now I'm fat,
You
I
still
don't give a
do that,
shit.
don't you?
I'm so much
You
taller.
still do that. I bet you do. I bet you got a new. You know, when you got a new pair of trainers and you clock yourself in the wig shop windows. You're like, oh, you look so sexy.
No. I when I stopped training, I looked back and thought, how vain was I, and just did everything I could to be the opposite, and that was that. Chris says Scott's tiny. Chris is tiny. Chris is really tiny.
At least it's not having to dig about your beard.
No.
Changing it up.
The love-hate relationship.
I'm gonna grab his knob again at Brighton, like
Mm.
God, Anton's getting in on it now.
Yeah.
It's gonna kick off. Oh, no.
I don't know why Anton is. He's always in the bath.
that. Oh, Chris is an absolute knob. I hate him. Love you, brother.
Yeah, so we've got our Comic-Con next week, and then haven't we, Lydia, to go to? So I forgot to say, actually, guys, I'm going to try. I have, because John Noble's there, who played Denethor. And there's a big thing, for those of you who don't know, there's been no statue made of Denethor. So I'm going to ask him. I'm going to go up to him and ask him if he'll do it like just a quick video clip. So I can send it to, or I can tag Wetter in it. I put it on my thing and tag Wetter in it. But I'm going to see if he'll do it in the voice of Denethor. You know, do something along the lines of like, Boromir would have done me a fine statue. But you kind of got to judge him on the day, haven't you? You know, he was like Jed Brophy was like that. Yeah, he was more than happy to do a video. He was so, you know, because I've only seen him as Denethor, really, he was a really miserable character. Even he might not be really happy. So, but I'm gonna ask him anyway and see what it's like. So I'm hoping to get in really early doors Saturday, find where his table is, and do that before the crowd get in. Has somebody got a dog snoring?
Not me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that your dog?
I don't even hear that anymore. Shut up.
I thought it was a tarantula.
No, every single one of my videos that I've done for the past 10 years, she has been in the background snoring. I don't even hear it anymore. And the thing is, if I shut her out the room, then she tries to break down the door. So I'm like, what do I do in this? Like, do I let her break the door down or just snore? So I've just stuck with snoring. She's an old lady. She can't help it. Now she's drinking just to make a show of herself. I'm going to turn my mic off.
Jason?
Yeah.
Sir? With all the spiders and the couple of mantis and the ants, have you got any thoughts about getting any other inverts as well?
I mean, I'm saying no, but I never thought in a million years I'd get into ants.
Centipedes?
So, no, actually, no. Centipedes definitely not. Nor. I don't know. Just
I've got about 10.
yeah. I don't know what it is. They just don't do it. Same as the isopod. I tried to get my head around the isopod thing, but it's like I live in an old cottage. I'm tripping over bloody wood lice anyway. You know, it's the frigging things are everywhere.
What about scorpions?
I've got some pink Lambos, Jason, which are just like they've got wood lice, but they've got pink on them, pink stripes.
Yeah, I've seen the. I think I saw your video on it.
Have you seen the new species that come over? That it's Melenio. I think it's species bear with the gold on it.
No.
Literally looks like somebody's poured molten gold over the isopod. Nicola's got them.
Yes, I do, Anton. I used to keep snakes. I started off with snakes. I had a 16-foot Burmese python at one point. I had a Thai beauty. I had hognose. I had a California king snake. My mum is chuffed to bits that I stopped keeping snakes because she doesn't mind spiders, but she's petrified. We were actually my very first snake. To tell you a story. We lived in a cottage with my mum and dad, a really old cottage, and it was about, I think it was about 500-600 year old, this cottage we lived in. And I bought, my dad had basically, my mum had said he's not having a snake, he's not having a snake. And my dad sort of said, if you earn your own money, you can have a snake. So it sort of got diluted down from mum to dad. Because my dad wanted me to have a snake. And so I went and got a job. At about 14 and saved the money up and bought a snake. And it got out the tank. And my dad had just sold the house and we were moving and we couldn't find it. And I think my mum and dad would have to, but I think we got to about a week before we were due to move out of the house and we still hadn't found this snake. And my mum and dad were like, "Do we tell the people who were buying the house that there's a snake roaming around?" But luckily we found it. It was knocking some plates off downstairs one night, and my dad found it. So yeah. But then when I bought my first house, I actually had the spare bedroom turned into. I had a big tank built into the spare bedroom, and I had a Burmese python. But that was the last snake I had. And that was well over 20 years ago because my daughter's 20. So, but I wouldn't have reptiles again. Inverted.
Snakes are escape artists, so I used to have an American corn snake, and no matter what we did, it always managed to get out. And it escaped, like you said, just before we moved. And after we moved house, it was in the local newspaper that it was found up the road in a pub somewhere.
Bloody hell.
My
Didn't
boa
get it
used
back.
to just move along the side of the glass in such a way where it'd open it and then it'd fucking get out.
Yeah, my boa used to get out a lot. Chenko.
They know
He
what
was
they're
a
doing,
big
don't they?
boy.
Intelligent animals.
He was very big, and Chelios used to get out a lot as well. My other boa.
What about you, statue guys? Would you go for a reptile over an invert? And we know you're not going to go for spiders anytime soon, but what about, would you have like a snake or a lizard or something like that? Maybe.
Yeah, I
I'm
wouldn't mind snakes,
snakes.
personally, but my family is 100% against anything like that, so that's not gonna happen. Fish is probably the only thing that will come into this house at this point, other than dogs and cats.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
a
that's
solid cat and dog person. No lizards, no spiders.
Yet.
not yet. Yeah, not yet. I'm
Would
dabbling in the aquarium life right
Would
now.
Playing?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, fair play.
What fish are you keeping?
Just small stuff so far. I did it for the kids, like tetras and platies, the real small stuff. But I'd like to dive into some piranhas. Have a
You'd like
piranha
to dive
tank.
into some piranha?
Well, not dive in, but see,
That's
that
a
would have
quick.
worked.
That was a good one.
That's
That
a
would've
quick
worked.
way of fucking losing weight, dude. You'll lose a lot of fucking weight.
But yeah, no, it's been fun. A lot to learn. But it's fun. It's a good hobby to have.
He's not very well, Cole. He's not been very well for a few weeks, unfortunately. He's been in touch with me, and hopefully he'll be back soon. But Jacob's not too good at the moment, mate. But he sends his best to everyone.
I hope he's on the mend soon.
Yeah, I spoke to him a couple of days ago. Yeah, he's not doing too good at the moment.
I'll send him all our love.
Yeah, of course.
Jason, got another question for you.
I have to keep looking for where the face is. Yeah, sorry. It's like a pond, isn't it, with all these faces staring up at me. Got some angel fish. Got some little angel fish. Got a couple of those battered cod as well. Yeah, sorry, go on.
If you roll back the clock and you'd never got into animals full stop and you'd never got into statues full stop, what do you reckon the live would be talking about this evening instead of?
Bird watching.
Bird
I lived and breathed bird watching. I was utterly obsessed.
Okay.
Yeah, I was a twitcher. I just used to go chase all over after rare birds. I was utterly, that's the closest I've ever come to losing a job. I got divorced because of it. That was the reason. Because literally one morning my wife woke up and she rang my phone. She said, "Where are you?" And I was down in Somerset. I think just got up because the night before a text had come through that there was this rare bird. And I just got up at 3 o'clock in the morning, drove down to Somerset, and then drove straight. And I literally drove from my house to Cornwall and back 3 times in 3 days to see this one bird and didn't even see it. That was the level of obsession.
Goodness.
That's when a hobby becomes an obsession.
Obsession.
That twitching, the driving about, that is the hobby. That's all part and parcel of it.
What ended it for me was I went to Florida. I went to Florida for 2 weeks with my girlfriend at the time, and I literally we got there late at night, and I went for a walk down on the beach. and I think it was something like 27 new species of bird in a 20-minute walk, and it just took away the whole thing of chasing after it. I thought all the money I spent on twitches, I might as well take that money, get on a plane, have a holiday, and see loads of new birds in where they should be, not lost. And it just tailed off after that. I just sort of. Plus, my daughter was getting older, and it wasn't okay. My daughter was getting older as well, and I didn't want my time because I was divorced now. I didn't want my time with my daughter. I used to see dads taking their kids into the pub. That was dad time, and I didn't want that, and I didn't want it to be that oh, come on, Aaron, and jumping in the car and racing off. So I just walked away from it, and that was it really. But if I wasn't failing that, it would be certainly something outdoors, hiking, camping, something like that, which is something I'm looking at doing again. I'd like to get back into sort of hiking and camping again because I do like the peace and solitude of the outdoors. I can remember one of the best moments of my birding career. I walked up Brown-Clee, which is the highest point in Shropshire. And I literally walked all the way up Brown-Clee. I saw about 3-4 species of bird. That was it. There was nothing. But the mist cleared when I got to the top, and it was just absolute. And I smoked them. It was absolute silence. And my favourite bird on earth is a bird called a great grey shrike. Go and Google this bird, great grey. They're absolutely stunning. They're white, grey with a black band, and they're called butcher birds because they're carnivorous, and what they do is they catch lizards, voles, and mice. But they used to impale them on thorns, but now with men making barbed wire fences, they use the barbed wire fences, and it's called their larder. And they're a very, very scarce bird indeed. And I flushed a great grey shrike out of the ditch, and it flew up and landed on this bush. I can remember I sat there with a fag, just me and this great grey shrike, and it was just blissfully quiet. And it's always stuck in my head that moment. It was just massively. And I can remember sitting there thinking to myself, "This will never happen again. I'll never live this again." It was just a very, very sort of. It was a moment. I had a moment with a bird, but not the way you think.
My favourite bird, you're probably going to say is very boring, but greenfinch.
Yeah, I'd say that's boring. Why greenfinch?
I know. I thought, yeah.
Wheezy, because they wheeze, don't they?
Yeah. But when I started bird watching, it was at Rolls Royce, and Rolls Royce was because of the big conifer trees they had all around the premises. They were full of them.
But it was that, and that was the thing. I mean, people always ask me what my favourite one. I just think with the shrike was just because it was so enigmatic. But I mean, everybody's got a reason for having a favourite, and I think that's the thing. A favourite of anything, no matter what it is, it's something personal to you, isn't it?
I'm gonna have to hop off, but it was lovely to see you all. I've got work in the morning, so.
Okay, lads.
Lovely to
thank you,
sit and
thank you
chat.
ever so much. Thank you everyone. I'll speak to you in the week, and I'll see you on Saturday anyway, won't I?
Yeah, excellent.
See ya. See you next time.
See you soon. Bye.
Thanks a lot, Lydia.
Same here, Jason. The wife needs some help with putting the babies to bed. Pleasure
No
to
problem.
be here with you.
No, thank you ever so much, John. I'm gonna wrap the stream up anyway, I think, mate. Everybody who's on if you want to stay in chat because we go back into the other room so we can carry on having a chat. Cheers, John. Massively appreciate you coming on, dude. So if ever you want to jump on again, mate, just let me know.
Of course. Great.
Oh, it's Shane. Hey, Shane.
Great to finally stream with you, and it was a pleasure meeting everyone.
Yeah, you
too.
Thank you ever so much, John. Really appreciate it, mate.
Anytime, buddy. Take care.
Bye.
Take care. Hi, Shane. I've got to say, Shane, that Star Destroyer you've got, absolutely awesome, mate. He's got this like massive model Star Destroyer. One of my favourite ships from Star Wars.
That dude's got such a cool voice.
Yeah. He's been streaming for years. I used to watch him on before I'd even started YouTube. That's the first time I've got a guy coming on the next stream, Eddie, who used to stream with him. But Eddie's I He's in America somewhere. I can't remember where he is now. I think California, but I'm not sure.
Ooh, Eddie Mendez.
Yes.
Yeah, Money Mendez.
Money Mendez. Yeah.
Yeah, he's in the West Coast, I think.
Yeah, he's sound. He's actually one of the guys that's massively into spiders. Since I started doing them, he was like, he messaged me because Eddie, for you guys who don't know, is a big statue guy, a big live streamer in statues. But when I started doing, he's one of the ones that's an arachnophobe. And when I started doing the tarantulas, he actually messages me now when you're doing some more spider videos. He's like, he
That's
said he
cool.
can never keep one himself because of his phobia, but he's absolutely obsessed with the videos and learning about them. And I've actually said to him about some of the other, some of you guys in your channel. I know I said about Regan's, I'm sure, about some of the other channels. I said, go and watch. In fact, I did Regan. I sent him a link to yours. Because it's something that he loves and wants to know more about, but it's something he can't do himself because of his phobia of it. Which is absolutely fantastic to get someone,
That's the good thing about the tarantula community. You don't have to own tarantulas to be part of it.
Yeah. I also find that
you only need an interest in a subject, don't you? Then that's it. You're in.
Yeah, and lots of people. Sorry, lots of people that are scared of spiders are still very interested in them, aren't they? I think the fear kind of makes them more interesting.
I think that's the common thing with many of those kind of collectors' hobbies. You can sort of enjoy other people enjoying them and talking about these things. So sort of enjoy them by proxy.
I'll be back in 2 seconds, guys. Carry on.
I certainly do it with many other things that I probably don't have the time or energy to start collecting myself. But watching YouTube channels of people talking about something is really, really interesting.
Agree.
If somebody's really passionate, you can't help but listen, can you?
Yeah.
I get a lot of people in my lives that are either scared of spiders or don't have them or whatever else, and they'll keep coming back to my lives and watching it even though they're scared.
Mm-hmm.
But fear in itself is attractive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
If something's scary, I'm always like drawn to it.
Well, I was actually talking about
just
that
to try and experience that fear as briefly as it might be.
Yeah. I think
that's probably why half my history is the way it is.
I think with the spiders, like I'm not somebody that scares easily at all. Like I can watch any scary film on my own in the dark. I do not give a shit. Nothing frightens me. And I think the reason that I like my spiders as much as I do, and I tried to explain this to my kids, was because they're a little bit unpredictable and sometimes they'll be jumpy and they kind of make you sort of like they give you a little jump as well. I love that they do that. It makes me feel excited to interact with them because they make me feel all these different feelings. It's not just that I love having them. I love everything about it. That the fact that they're a little bit creepy and a little bit scary is fun. I think so.
Well, people love being scared. That's why horror films are so popular. And people, it goes back to the little kid and the ghost stories, doesn't it? Things like that. It's always been people like to be scared. Strangely enough, the right kind of scared, obviously. I can sit and watch a documentary on Jeffrey Dahmer quite happily, but I wouldn't want to be chased bare ass down the street by him. They're scared, isn't they?
Jeffrey was a very interesting character.
God, did you see that? Did you see the film on him where he got that bloke in that bucket? Jesus Christ!
Very interesting.
There's the Dharma film, and then there's Young Dharma as well. That's really good.
Yeah, that Netflix series.
What was the name of that cannibal? An advert out, and some guy replied to it and said, "Yes, you can eat me alive," and they went for it.
And then that was
they
crazy.
cooked the penis first, didn't they? And they both munched on it.
Obviously. I mean,
Yep, and they couldn't arrest the guy because the other guy had asked for it. He
in all fairness,
asked to be
Well,
eaten.
I think that he's still got
in all
arrested
fairness,
and
if I
charged
if
and
I
sent
came
to prison
round and I
because it's
found
still a
out,
crime.
if I came round and I found out somebody had ate my penis, I think I'd be like, "Oh, you want to eat the rest of it, mate?" Because I got there's nothing left to live for now.
Do you know how many?
That's sorry.
I was just going to say, do you know how many times? But go ahead.
With the person that had his knob chopped off and cooked, he could have literally had no sexual desires at all.
Well, not at that point. No.
That he had
Do you know what I mean?
experienced yet. I bet he
So
regrets
because it's
it.
gone, it might not have even bothered him.
Yeah.
I got a pair of friends who live together as a couple, but they don't have sex or anything like that because they're literally just not attracted to sex. Full stop.
That's called marriage.
That's exactly what I'm like.
If marriage was like that, I would not be married.
I'll not be married.
Not
either.
a chance.
Isn't that asexual or something like that?
It
Yes.
is asexual, but
I can remember this.
them
This is
being-
true.
when
I worked with
mentioned
a guy.
asexual, they got a little bit offended. So I don't. Just in case.
Well, I worked with a guy, and his brother was gay, and he was in a gay relationship with another lad, obviously. And I can remember he come to work one day and said that his brother's partner was having a sex change. And I said, right, okay, well, your brother's not in a gay relationship anymore. Because sort of the whole point of a sex change is that you don't want to be a man.
Well, he would still be in a relationship with a man.
Well, not if you've had a sex change. Isn't that the whole point? I mean, I can't get there in my head, but it sounds wrong. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? I mean, now it's like gender fluid and all that. And I just no, you're what you want to do.
I think it's like, if you want to change sexes, fair enough, but don't expect me to then believe that you've gone from a woman to a man or a man to a woman. But I will still respect your views and still call you by whatever name that you want to refer to you as being a female or a male.
And it makes online dating something of a fucking minefield, I can assure you. Now, I've done quite a bit of online dating, and my mate started doing it, and he was like, I don't want someone with kids. I said, yeah, you do. Make sure she's got kids. Make sure she's got a fucking womb, dude, because you don't want to find out. You don't want to find out 6 months down the road that she used to have a bigger dick than you.
Well, you're either gonna, put it in her, or you're gonna put it in your mouth. One of the two, Jason.
This conversation is very seriously, even from my stream.
I think love is love. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's not the thing. It's like I just sounded wrong to me. If to be in a gay relationship and then one person to become a woman, that's not a gay relationship.
Let me ask you a question. I'm in a relationship with a woman. I've been straight all my life. I've never identified as anything other than straight. But I had a connection with her, and we've been together now 11 years. And I still don't consider myself gay or bisexual or anything. I'm just in a relationship with a woman who I love and adore. We don't live together, but she's the only person I've ever been with that I've not ever considered cheating on, that I've trusted completely, but I still don't say that I'm gay. And if anyone called me a lesbian, I would take their face off. But my daughter's pretty much exactly the same. My daughter is, she'll call herself gay, but if you call her a lesbian, she will go off her head. So I think people are just.
Can I ask, what do you find offensive about it? Not like.
Because I find it offensive because it's not what I am. I'm not a lesbian. I'm in a same-sex relationship, but I'm not a lesbian. If I was a lesbian, I'd be attracted to women in general. But I like men.
Why should
I just
why
like
should why should anybody put a label on it?
Oh, exactly. I don't put a label on it, but
I don't think why people have to look at a couple and go, oh yeah, they're gay. It's like,
Oh, you
great,
get
yeah, but
horrible stuff. You're
there are,
dirty dyke and
it's
horrible
just
things
like looking
that.
and going, there's two beautiful people in a beautiful relationship, happy days.
Yeah, exactly.
I've never understood all this. Oh, you got to put a label on it, this, that, and t'other.
No, I think I met her, like, we were kids when I met her the first time. I was actually in a relationship with her cousin, who was a guy. And we met back up on Facebook years and years later. I was married to my kid's dad. She was with a woman. But we just became close. Our relationships ended, and we're still together all this time on. As I say, we're the happiest with each other than we've been with anyone. But even she won't call herself a lesbian, and she's been in same-sex relationships all her life. I think it's just nowadays, especially with how many kids are like joining the gay LGBTQ plus thing. There's so many different genders and attractions and that, and it gets so confusing now that I don't want me or my daughter to be, making it too complicated. Just like you like, it doesn't matter. Like, it really doesn't matter.
Is it just a kind of a loaded term that you're sort of thinking about?
I don't like other people telling me what I am.
Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah.
I'm just me. That's it. I'm just reading. That's it. Don't need to put a
That
label
makes
on it.
most sense.
If it's any consolation, I've been single that long, and I consider myself bisexual.
my eldest daughter, she had loads of troubles growing up with school and stuff like that, and her mum would never let her cut her hair, and she had long blonde hair. But now she's got it cut short. She doesn't wear dresses or anything like that. She likes to be referred to as a male. She is so happy. In fact, I think I'm the only person that refers to her as still being a girl, because she was always daddy's girl.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it upsets her, because she just says she doesn't mind it. So.
How old is she?
17. Nearly 18.
I would imagine if that's all she's ever known, if you were to change it, maybe she'd find that more uncomfortable than you just leaving it as it is.
My worry is that if she wanted to change it, she might think it'd upset me more than her, and that's why she's still accepting me referring to her as being, a girl. What?
It's like it's walking on eggshells the whole time. You don't want to say the wrong thing and get cancelled or upset anyone. Because, even though I feel the way that I feel, I still respect everybody else and what they want to do with their own lives, as long as they're not pushing it down my kids' throats. I think that's probably where I draw the line. But it doesn't bother me. It's my daughter is almost the same age. She's coming up 17 now, and she has so many friends now that are like they, thems, or trans. There are so many of them. All of the girls are into girls and boys. On some level, they both go both ways. I think Grace, on the other hand, my daughter, she's always been a tomboy, and we kind of always thought that she would, be interested in girls when she was older. But she likes normal girly things, like a normal girl does. She doesn't wear dresses or anything, but all of her friends are exactly the same. They're all they look like little tomboys, all of them. And I don't mean just her little group. I mean her year group. They dress totally differently than we did when I was that age. But I just let them get on with it.
I think the only term that I don't like with a passion is cis.
Oh yeah, I don't like that.
Because at the end of the day, it's what I had a lad on a stream. He was younger than me, and I think he automatically got his defences up because I'm in my 40s. So he had already assumed, because I was older, that the view with gay relationships was completely different to what it would be with him. And I kind of had to explain to him, I grew up in the 90s. We fought for freedom for everybody. We were the ones that were changing people's minds at the time and arguing with the pet. Because I used to have a gay best friend who used to come around, and my stepdad used to have a right go at me. And it took me years for me to convince my stepdad that, being gay is completely fine. And he accepts it now. But it's just, I think the word cis for me is really frustrating because this guy kept going on and on and on. And I had to pull a lad onto my live that's the same age as me. He's openly gay. For him to turn around and say, the word cis is actually a gay slur as an insult to straight men.
Yeah, you hear so many different.
The guy was still like, "Oh, you're cis straight because you're not this, you're not that, you're not the other." And I went, "Hold on, I'm not referring to you as being gay, straight, bi, or anything. So why would you refer to me as being cis?"
Yeah.
And then I also said, "Well, I'm actually bi-curious as it goes. I've got no interest in the sort of having a sexual relationship with another man, but the whole idea of it is really interesting to me." And he couldn't get his head around that either.
I think the whole cis thing is such a it's a real point of distaste within most straight people. I think just don't like it. Like, I don't like it. I know I don't like it. I don't see it as like offensive or anything. I just think it's a bit unnecessary. Do you know? Like, I'm just a woman. Like, I don't need anything in front of that. And it, like, I know trans people say they use it as it's like a descriptor. So you've got like a trans person and then a cis person, and it's just like differentiating between the two. But if a trans woman is a woman and a woman is a cis woman, why can't they just both be women? Like, why have we got to insert that word?
This is the bit I don't get, because you'll say, "Oh, we've got trans, we've got lesbians, we've got gay, we've got this, that." It's like, no, we haven't. We've got people, and that's pretty much how I see it. I will love anybody for them.
It's just it's labels, isn't it? People just don't like labels.
Do you not just find that it's one of the least interesting things about a person? To go back to the point about spiders and statues, or typewriters and cars and whatever it is, it's far more interesting if somebody is let's say talking about that than whether they're who do they like, or what pronouns they use, or all that sort of stuff. It's just fluff. It's kind of uninteresting and kind of irrelevant to most to everybody else, I would say. It's far more interesting to the things that you're really passionate about. If that's the only thing you're passionate about, it kind of feels like you're slightly wasting your time.
But that is some people's complete and utter.
No, Anton.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. But I just find it a bit sort of, surely there's a myriad of other things you could be interested in, and you do you could be whatever you want to be. But there's far more interesting things that you could be doing and learning and getting involved in than just focusing on this narrow category.
Again,
yeah, I mean, you're right, because it generally doesn't matter, does it? I mean, it genuinely doesn't matter at all. I mean, when I meet someone, the last thing on my mind is, who are they shagging?
Exactly.
I mean, one, it's none of my business anyway. Two, I can genuinely say I'm not interested. I'm only interested in talking about things that you want. If somebody wants to sit down and yak about it, fine, fair enough. I'm interested in listening to what people have got to say and what they want to talk about. But I genuinely, I say this to people in my day-to-day life, and I absolutely categorically, I mean every word of it. I have not got an ounce of envy in my body. I am not envious of anyone for anything. I genuinely am not. So when I meet someone, I don't care what you've got or what you haven't got, or anything like that. If I'm talking to you, I'm talking because I want to talk to you.
Yeah.
So I mean, my brother's gay. It doesn't. I don't give a shit. That has never cropped me. Both me and my brother are adopted. We're both adopted from different homes. We both started off life in children's homes. Me and him have never talked about that because we don't need to. Everybody else wants to talk about it. Everybody around us wants to talk about it. Me and my brother don't, because it doesn't mean anything to us. It doesn't
Yeah.
mean anything. We were adopted by my mum and dad. We went through life thinking, well, we're quite special because we were chose. You lot, well, because we used to say to people, you were born. Your mum and dad had no bloody choice. Oh, for fuck's sake. Maybe the next one will be better. But you know, we were picked, like, you know, and me and my brother are the one person on earth who I've not talked to anyone about it. But we never, because we know we didn't need to talk about it. It's the same when he became gay. I'll be honest, because I was about 18 at the time, I think, and this was back in the early 90s. I was a bit ignorant about it at first. To be honest, the biggest problem I had about it, the biggest issue I had about it, my brother was handsome as fuck. He was handsome as fuck. He got a six pack and everything, and I was like, there's going to be so many girls are going to shag me just to get to him. You know, they are going to go through me to get to it. And then he dropped that bombshell on me. So the next 5 years just fell apart for me. But you know, we're saying, you know, we're saying about it. You know, it's one of those things. No, I, I don't want to talk about it. You know, I just don't need to. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. You know,
I think the
if
key.
you're an arsehole, whether you're gay or straight, you're an arsehole, aren't you? But if you're a nice person, it's exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
They'll keep all the negative views on all subjects in the media, on TikTok, and just everywhere, because what that does then is it divides us all, and it also washes us, so we don't see what's actually going on in our own country and across the globe, because we're still having conversations about, you know, who's shagging who and what their sexuality is, or what their race is, or, you know, what they believe spiritually. It's just, yeah, it's a load of
It's
bullshit.
just irrelevant. You know, it's just dividing and, you know, ever more, ever finer grain of, you know, subcategories. And you go, none of this really matters. You know, people can be whatever they want to be, as long as they're not doing harm to anybody else. You know, it shouldn't be at all. And I kind of feel like 20 years ago or 15 years ago, that was where everything was going. You know, doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, you know, what do you look like, what do you like, doesn't matter. You know, it's only in the last 10 years or so that this has become a kind of, you know, talking point. And it's increasingly more irrelevant, I think.
It's coming off. Fell out with somebody recently because they were on about Palestine, and then they were on about the marches in London, and I was like, yeah, what? And they were like, yeah, but it's all the Muslims. We should go down there with Tommy Robinson and blah 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 blah. And I went, are you for real?
You insane? Yeah.
I was like, are you actually being serious right now? You know, there's bloodshed in Palestine, and this country is doing fuck all about it because there's nothing of interest to this country over there. Whereas with Ukraine, because of the amount of grain that's there, of course we're going to send everything we've fucking got to the Ukrainians to help them. But we should be doing the same in Palestine because it's called humanity.
Hi, Eric. The thing is, it's like, for me, like we've already said, this is why it's good to have the things that we've all got in common and to talk about things like that, because we're all on a level playing field, and you don't sort of judge. You don't need to get into the complexities because it's simple. That's why I love things like, I
Pardon?
love geeky stuff. I've gone through my whole life where the majority of people in my life aren't into a single damn thing I'm in. I was always the one they took the piss out because I was into Star Wars, I was into Lord of the Rings, blah blah blah, and it was fine. It was absolutely fine. I took that and I wore it, and it didn't bother me. So that's why when I found with obviously the internet and the ability to reach out and then to meet people all over the country, all over the planet, and you can talk to people that are on the, it's like the best thing ever. I think
Yeah.
that's why I had such a good time at the convention. It's why I had such a good time at Comic Cons. It's why I enjoy doing this. It's just to have these people that we never would have met otherwise. Well, it would have been unlikely. And it just brings you all sort of together. And that to me is what's important. It's important to be happy and chatting to people that you want to chat with. And that's why I like doing things like this and being on other people's live streams. Because you just like, I suppose, for want of a better thing, and I hate to put it in these terms, but you all of a sudden you feel normal. You feel like you've got your crowd. Not that I've ever been one for being in a crowd, but you know, it's that I suppose that feeling that you get when you there's people that understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Because I love being because when people take the piss out of me, you know, at work or wherever for being a geek, being you know in Star Wars or whatever, I actually just sit down and think to myself, I actually feel a bit sorry for you because I love this stuff. I love it. I love it. You know,
Nine times
I
out of
can
10,
go up.
haters ain't into anything. They haven't got a hobby. They haven't got a passion. They've got nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's football normally. That's what I've found.
No.
Football normally. If you're not into football, you're not a bloke. I've actually had people. Do you know what? I had a bloke once come to me and say to me, "My dad told me never trust someone who's not into football." That's honestly what he said to me. I thought, well, fucking hell. Okay, I'm literally not going to answer that. I could answer it, but I'm not going to offend your dad. But you know, that's
What
the
I
level of thing.
what I found is that there's a lot of people actually that are into interesting things, but they just don't want to talk about it because they're there's a kind of a fear of being ridiculed. I what I found is whenever I speak with colleagues or somebody about I don't know the fantasy or books or films or statues or whatever. And suddenly, somebody that you didn't expect had an interesting hobby. They also have one, but they don't really talk about it because there's always the worry of, oh, will I look silly if I say about something I like? It's far better to be, kind of more open about these things, and sometimes actually just double down and just say, yes, what are you going to do about it? I really like statues.
Cheers, Dennis.
I think you see it from a kid as well. A lot of people just follow the crowd.
Yeah.
I mean, in the UK, we've got like a real popular football club, which is Manchester United, and I think something like 80% of their supporters don't actually live in Manchester.
Thank you, Dennis.
See you later, Dennis.
They just go along with the flow.
Catch you on the next one. Thank you.
Yeah, catch you on the next one, Dennis. Cheers, buddy.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
Bye.
Sorry, Scott.
Oh. But yeah. I think
It's like if you see a UFO. It's like if you see a UFO and you want to talk about it and you think everyone's going to think I'm balmy. No, I've seen two good ones, and I do actually believe in UFOs. Now I'm not saying that they're alien spacecraft. I'm not saying that at all. I think the chances of them being alien spacecraft are remote, but they were UFOs, and I spent a lot of time looking upwards because of my past hobbies and judging distance and so on. And they're two things that I can't explain in any rational form. And the one I saw, and I watched it for about 5 minutes in broad daylight. In fact, there were two things, and I watched them through binoculars as well. And I can't put any rush. And I've actually spoke to people who are as level-headed as can be, and they have had. I basically because I'm a bit odd, they thought they could talk to me about it, and they told me stuff, and I've been like, dude, look, you know what you saw, or what you've experienced, or what you felt. So, but I think it's great that you don't know. I think it's great that you don't know. I like the not knowing.
I just think it's so completely ignorant to think that in a universe as vast as we know it is, I mean, it's completely uncharted territory. To think that there couldn't be something else out there is ridiculous to me. Like,
I agree.
there has to be. If we've managed to have life on this planet, I'm sure there are other planets that have, if not the same as us, like something similar. I mean, we might not recognize it as life as we know it, but yeah, there's got to be aliens.
Arthur C. Clarke said, he said, there's two definites. He said, either there's life in the universe, he said, or we're alone in the universe. And he said, I don't know which of those two realities is more frightening.
Well, I know which one seems more likely.
It's theoretically impossible that we're alone.
Yeah, like
because space itself goes on forever. So if it goes on forever, at some point there's going to be another planet that is exactly the same distance away from the sun that we are, and would have created life that's very, very similar to us. there's also, like Jason was saying, there's going to be life out there that's completely different to us.
That wouldn't need the same things that we need, that would be completely unrecognizable to us as life, but it's still their life.
There you go.
Right.
And they've already
thought that.
identified thousands of planets, so they're in the same sort of Goldilocks conditions, they say. So it's only a matter of time. Maybe it will be
Do you know which one I'd love? If I could, I've been into all this stuff since I was a little. I've literally got a book upstairs I had when I was 9 years old called Mysteries, Monsters, and Untold Secrets, and I've still got it. I've still got the actual book upstairs. And the one I'd love to be true, and I've been there many times, and it isn't, unfortunately, but I'd love it to be. That's Loch Ness. I'd love Loch Ness to be. I'd love this kind of story. There just isn't such a small body of water to house many huge oxygen breathing animals.
But in many ways, it's kind of more true and more real than if it was real, because everybody knows about it.
It's the magic, but it's the magic again, isn't it? This all falls back into what we, the fantasy and things we're into. It's nice to have the mystery and the magic, and I think that's the beauty of it.
I think I was listening to an interview with the artist John Howe, and he was kind of talking about Balrogs in this case. And he says Balrogs don't exist, and yet we all know what they look like. We've got all this kind of like dragons. There's a mental picture that everybody has, but the thing doesn't exist, and yet it does exist. So it doesn't really need to be kind of physically there to be really true. So the Loch Ness monster is only as real as people think that it is. So
I mean, it's where Lingy Bling lives. I mean, that's steeped in sort of like all like medieval mysteries and things, isn't it? I mean, whenever I went there, every place, every road you went down, there was a brown sign with something there, some stone circle or something going on. I mean, it was an incredible place. We used to go all over. Yeah, all manner of all paganism and all sorts of stuff. It was quite a mad, especially when I used to go there with my daughter Erin. It was like because we just used to get lost and look for brown signs, which were like touristy places.
There's lots of places down here that don't have a brown sign, which is that home of witchcraft. You can still find things of witchcraft in the relics, like the walls. Like there's a red shoe, a 1940s red shoe built into an old Cornish wall with a dead sparrow stuffed inside, because it's like said that the woman fell in love with somebody and he went with another woman instead of her, so she stole her shoe and stuffed it with the sparrow and then put it into the wall so that she became ill, and then he came back to her.
Hell hath no fury.
I absolutely love witchcraft.
Me too.
Absolutely love it. There's a place in Cornwall that nobody really knows about, and it's quite far out. I mean, I got lost for 8 hours in one day, and it was absolutely stonking hot. The weather was so hot, and I had a little bottle of water to last me all day because I just lost my car trying to find the Devil's Eye and the Dancing Maidens, and I found them, but then I couldn't find my way back to the car. so I was lost for ages, and that's down Mennintoll. But yeah, that's a really cool place. And the Boscastle Witches Museum, that's one of my favorite places in the world. I could literally stay there all day. And there's like an old wishing well, but it doesn't look like a well. It's not like a well. It's literally like a waterfall that goes down into the deepest hole you've ever seen in your life. Like if you fell down there, God knows how long you'd be falling for.
Goodness.
I love it.
Is that the waterfall that they've hung the teddies off and it turns the teddies into stone?
No.
I've seen that.
This well is like, you wouldn't even recognize it. You'd have to know where it is to know it's the well. like people would just walk past it and just think it was a mossy wall with a drain. It's not. It's the well. It's really cool. And there's a pub in Boscastle, which is my favourite pub, called Cobweb, and all the tables have got spider webs on them. It's so nice. It's like the most prettiest pub.
It's like Hogwarts.
I love it. It's like my favourite place. Craig Williams.
Everyone. Listen, everyone. I'm going to end the stream. If everybody on the panel stays, because we go into the like the little bit in the back, so you don't have to sort of log out. But to everyone in the chat that's still there, huge thanks for tuning in and watching. We've covered some ground today. Everything from statues to Lord of the Rings to sexuality to mysteries and all sorts. So God knows what we'll cover on the next one. There will be obviously another live stream coming up soon. Hopefully I can get all my panel back for that one. I'll get in touch with you guys, obviously, and let you know when that is. And there'll be the spider giveaway one as well coming soon. Thank you to everyone in the chat for joining us, and obviously huge thanks to my panel, to the ones who are still here and the ones who have gone. Really appreciate it, everyone. Thank you ever so much. Yeah, so we'll catch you all on the next one. So cheers, everyone, and we'll see you all soon. And you guys, I'll see you in. Well, just stay there.
Bye, everyone.
Okay, bye, everyone.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye.